And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy last stream of the year. I originally wasn't sure if I was streaming next week, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, it's Christmas Day. There's no way I'm streaming. So yeah, this is it. It'll be this stream, and then the next time we stream, it will be 2025, which is absolutely just nuts. I can't believe that the year's already over. Yeah, the last, I would say from summer, like June, July onward just feels like one massive blur, but here we are. So let's see what you're printing. So I backed a project. It was a Kickstarter, actually. I don't usually back Kickstarters, but it was a, let me just show you. Let's see. Kickstarter. Bam. So everyone here knows I'm a huge trading card nerd. And I saw that there was a Kickstarter going for these like crazy cases, deck boxes. But the thing I was most interested in, which I don't know if they actually added onto the page here. I think they added it elsewhere. Let's see. Where are you? Okay, yep. So I was interested in these for storing. I have a ton of bulk that I need to store, and I really like these. But this is what I was most interested in, the Omega modular storage system. So it's for storing your cards, right? Like there's dividers you can insert, but they made a version of it that's compatible with the Calyx, the what's it, the like IKEA, you know, square Kickstarter. I'm sorry. The IKEA Square storage organizers. So it's a smaller version of this, and I have this empty spot over here, and all the card stuff is just kind of on the ground and scattered everywhere. So I'm picking up a 2x3. Not from IKEA. There's no IKEAs in Idaho, and shipping and time waiting, it's too much of a pain. But I'm gonna pick up Target's version of it. So yeah, I'm printing out the first of them. So it's a ton of parts. One of these boxes is literally 108 screws. So I have a ton of screws coming. But yeah, so I'm printing out this so that way I can organize like what I have for sale, what's from like English versus Japanese. So I'm super excited. But yeah, they made a version that fits perfectly in a cube of one of those like kind of IKEA square storage organizers. So it's a ton of printing, and I am just cranking away at them. So that is what I'm printing. I figured someone would probably ask, because it does look like it is a very large part. It's been going for, currently we are, doesn't say, it just says remaining. But I think it was a 16-hour print each plate, so it is a lot. I sold most of my bulk. I kind of want to do the same, but I have some bulk that's like still good bulk, where it's like kind of valuable, and some of it's relatively new. And based off of meta changes, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh, the prices can go up. Like I had some cards go from like $1.50 to like $9 overnight. So for those ones, I don't want to just like sell them for a quarter or like penny. I mean, like a lot of the bulk, if you sell it back to either just a big box on eBay or to a actual store, they give you like 5 cents per holo or something like that. So for a lot of those, I'm just gonna hold on to them. But I'm super excited. Like literally, there's binders over there, there's cards over there, there's a pile of just cardboard boxes of stuff over here. So I'm gonna get it all nicely organized using 3D printing. So I'm very excited. Let's see who's all here today. Jose's in the house, Viking, Delmar, Luke is here. Down Under Maker, which is Phil's updated name. How's it going? That should be pretty easy for me to remember. Hobo, hey Tor. Hey Lisa, you Kickstarter. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kickstarter by any means, but I will say that I have purchased a couple of digital things off of Kickstarter, and they've been fine. I'm not saying that that means that you should, because I think that oftentimes they just end up selling these afterwards anyway, so you can just buy them after, but there is a discount. Like I think it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap for this. I want to say it was still like $30 for the files, but man, I was debating on designing something myself, and I saw this. I'm like, this is great. This is better than what I was going to design, and I don't have to actually design it, which means that it'll actually happen. So I just ended up backing it. Arthur's here. Hesos, that looks cool as is. I need the link. Yeah, I think that if I will remember, I think I will see if I can figure out where they're going to be selling them after the fact, like the where they have them hosted, so you can just buy them and I'll send it. I don't know if It'd be cool if they had it where you can just kind of piecemeal or a la carte, like I just want to buy this file. I don't know whether it's just going to be like, here's all of it, or whether you can buy individual things. I haven't looked that heavily into it. I basically backed it like 60 days ago and then kind of forgot about it. And all of a sudden I'm looking around my room and I'm like, that's right, I backed that thing. And they sent some files a couple weeks ago, and they sent like the latest files in the last week here, which had the Calyx version of it. So I was very, very happy about that. Merry Missus and Happy New Hair. Hey, Cyber, thank you very much. Hey, Ken. Dark's here. Greetings, Mr. Modbot. I've been expecting you. Turns around in the street. I found my magic cards a few weeks ago. Didn't even open the box. Just gave them away to coworkers. That's super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Donald. Hey, Frank. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Beads. It's going pretty good. I got $700. Oh, wow. That's really good for bulk stuff. Definitely. 4 years ago, I was doing a lot of like importing cards, like vintage stuff from Japan, and then keeping what I wanted, selling what I didn't, and it helped like fund all of my collecting. And since I got into collecting again, and I haven't been doing that, I've been kind of clearing out some inventory, but I've been spending quite a bit too. So I am getting some more cards from Japan, so I can basically go back to the whole supplementing. I also really enjoy it. There's something sort of like, time is the biggest issue, but aside from like the 3D printing stuff, which is always like working towards videos or projects, it's kind of nice just having this little online card shop type thing. I find it very almost therapeutic, packaging up these little envelopes. It's weird, I don't know, but I really enjoy it. PF is in the house. Hey buddy, you weren't here last week, and I was going to almost message you and just make sure everything was okay. Hope you're doing all right. Hey Sven, I think I might have just said that. Lisa, is it the Omnibox? I think it is the Omnibox people. I am almost positive it is. Let's see. I see their other, created by Austin. Calibration, 26 created. 7, maybe it's not. Here. Oh, so they did the grid thing? Is that it? Yeah, the modular box, right? Is what you're talking about? I think it's the same people. They do a lot of miniature stuff. A lot of mini stuff, really, is what it looks like they kind of do. Oddly enough, yes, I don't think we're alone. I spend a lot of time reading forums and Reddit and stuff, and there's a lot of people that find it just very relaxing, sorting bulk by like set and type and stuff like that. So I do too. It's just like kind of mindless, and I've always been a fan of art, like all forms of medium of art. It doesn't matter what it is, really. And I really appreciate like the crazy cool artwork that, especially on the older style cards, I love looking at them. So everyone's got hobbies. Hey Kegel, wishes a fast recovery for your motherboard. Uh-oh, my motherboard was ill. Hey Lord. So a couple things, then we'll get into this whole thing. So update on the Mousetopia. If you remember last week, I mentioned that I discovered a mouse had gotten into the car, and I think by last Wednesday I hadn't trapped anything. I have since caught, okay. Guess how many mice I've caught? Just in chat, everyone, guess how many mice I've caught over the last week. This is what my life has been this last week, by the way. So let's see, just last week I caught none. Okay, we've got, funny enough, the first two people were right. Tor and Hobo. I've caught 7 mice. It would have been 6. Last night when I went to bed, it was 6. This morning I woke up and it turned into 7. So, yeah. We paid for a pest person. Idaho has pretty aggressive wasps, and the first season I moved out here, I was mowing the lawn, and all of a sudden my face hurt and my leg hurt, and I got stung in the face and in the leg by some wasps. And so since then I was like, I'm just gonna pay for someone. I really don't enjoy getting attacked by wasps, and they're really aggressive here. PF, thank you for the gift of memberships, buddy. It's the air horn, cheers. Thank you so much for the 10 memberships. Oh, also, if this is our last stream, let me do my 5 gift of memberships too, because I don't wanna let them go to waste. That seems, membership gifting, here we go, gift 5, cool. I did 5 like a week or so ago, so I'll do 5 as well. There we go. So, Yes, we have pest people. So they came out yesterday and did like a full search of the house. It was 2 people. They went into the crawl space. They went to the attic. They checked the perimeter, checked everything. So there's been a bunch of mice in the crawl space apparently because there's activity without getting into too much nasty detail. The attic wasn't so bad, and there are an absolute ridiculous amount of entry points into our house. Like basically everywhere where there's a 90-degree angle on the outside of the house, if you stick your finger underneath, there is a gap plenty big enough for something to crawl directly up. So I was hoping that because we've been paying for monthly pest control that they would cover it. Absolutely not. The price they wanted was basically $300 for the trap placement in the crawl space and around the house, $300 to patch those holes in the house, and then an extra $40 a month moving forward to maintain them. And I said, thank you, but no thank you. So I'm not saying I won't end up having to do it, but at least I know now where they're getting in from. Hey, KD, I don't know how you say your name. I'm just gonna say KD. Thank you very much for becoming a member. So the price was a lot more than I was expecting. So I did a bunch of research last night and I ended up ordering, basically picture like steel wool, like what you'd clean with, but a much finer mesh that's still interlaced with thin stainless steel. So I've got a bunch of that stuff and I've started to pack the holes in the garage. The main ones I need to do are on both sides of the garage door. Basically, where the weather stripping is on the garage door and it meets the wood, there's just a gap that a mouse could crawl under. So I have to pack that, and then I'm going to start the long process of packing the outside of the house. So if it comes down to it, I will have to hire, but I think that if I keep the traps, start packing the holes with that stuff, that will hopefully be okay. But so the issue with expanding foam is that they can chew through the expanding foam. Our AC line goes up into the house, of course, and it looks like the builder used what's like the orange kind of flame retardant expansion foam, and the mice have chewed a hole through that foam. So the reason why I'm going, like, this stuff wasn't cheap, like you said. It was basically $30 for a small box of it. But it doesn't take a lot, and because it's stainless steel, they can't chew through it. It's supposed to be like pretty uncomfortable for their teeth if they try to bite it, so they just give up and bail. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will probably have to use the foam for the AC thing. I just can't pack that really well with this stuff. But so yeah, not cheap, not cheap. I have rats and called the pest company. They wanted $1,200 to deal with it. I just everything they were going to do myself. Yeah, so when they explained to me what they were going to do, like basically putting down the traps, which it's all labor, right? I mean, $300 to place the traps. I ordered 24 traps last week after last week's stream, and they were approximately $1.25 US per trap. So even with as many traps, that's like $30 in traps, and it's just the labor of crawling down there, which I don't love the idea of crawling in the crawl space. My goal is to like not give them an incentive to be down there. The thing I'm happiest about is they did not detect any nests. That is what I am super thankful about. So let's keep it that way, no nests. Claiming the builder for your incomplete foreseeable work. So I did submit some stuff for the builder. They will not do pest stuff, especially outside of the house. I did find an internal hole that's pretty large in one of the baseboards, so I'm gonna have them patch that, but the rest of it, like it is not covered. They won't do that, so. I also figured out how they got in the car. Last thing I know, this is all mouse talk. We're here for 3D printing, but I did a lot of research last Wednesday and saw that the most common entry point for mouse in vehicles isn't due to like negligence on the user's part, which was really reassuring. It's actually them crawling in through your hood and getting in through the clean air intake and going in through your cabin via like where your glove box is. So I dropped the glove box, pulled it off, grabbed the clean air filter, pulled it out, and sure enough, there was teeth marks. They had chewed through the filter, and that's how they got in. So there are some people that have put like steel mesh on the intake area to basically block them, but it's very tight in there to get into that section. So my goal is, by just keeping the garage as trapped as possible, that like don't give them a reason to want to go into the car. So we'll see. Yep, cabin filters. Yep. The builder failed to seal the corners. Yeah, I know. I know. My wife bought a pineapple pizza just for this stream. She gets it. A mouse in your car? Yes. Yes, it does not have a license. No license. I did catch one in the car. One in the car and 6 in the garage so far. So anyways, let's get into 3D printing. So the main thing I've done since last week is I just finalized this guy. So this was a painful part of the build, and a lot of it was self-inflicted. Going based off the CAD was really rough. Delmar sent me the repo for this, Crane Fly, which I didn't realize it had a repo, and that was a lot nicer. The main issue we ran into last week was this piece split when I shoved the LEDs inside of it, so I did end up reprinting it, and sure enough, even the reprinted one on a different printer still split ever so slightly. So I hit it with a heat gun, pressed it back together. It's fine, it's solid, nothing's gonna happen. So it's done, like it's ready. I didn't do cable management yet. I figured we'll get everything attached in worst case scenario. I'll zip tie this stuff up a little bit later. The one thing I did not print out, which I just realized right now, is the block for the clicky. But realistically, with what I'm expecting we'll get done today, it won't really affect us. So game plan is we get this mounted, we get the bed mounted, we start mounting electronics, and that's, you know, we'll see where we are. So did Wayne yes, he did. He contacted me, GPs. He basically gave me some info on when it was expected to be done, which is perfect because it looks like it'll be still a little bit, which is, I've got a couple of projects kind of happening, so that I was like, great, I'm not in a rush, so that sounds fantastic. And he just messaged me back, I think this morning, and I haven't got a chance to read it, but yes, he did, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, Mr. Joda. All right, so we are going to be installing, let's see here, desktop, boom. We are gonna be installing the arms. That's what we're starting with. So let me get out, let me dump all the hardware out. How's everybody's week been? What's everybody doing for New Year's and Christmas? I'm making a honey baked ham. That is really it. New Year's is also Aaron and my anniversary. Not our wedding anniversary, but our, like, you know, dating anniversary. So I was originally just going to make some food here, like I usually have made in the past. It's so busy out there during the holiday times, just like some steak and potatoes and stuff. But I think we are going to end up going out, and we'll likely just end up doing it not on the actual anniversary, but, you know, the week of. I'll be eating nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so for each of these, we basically need a bolt and these 2 little spacer guys. I don't remember where the spacer guys are, but I do know that they are here. So let's see if I can find those little spacers. There's also springs. The springs go on the arms, right? Somewhere. I don't see them. But usually the springs go on the arms somewhere, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. Okay, it doesn't look like these are magnets, toolhead, bolts. Okay, so here is our little spacer guys. Okay, so we've got spacer, we've got arms. I'm working New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's at least kind of a mill a day. Hey, what's up, my tech? Nice ohm tech laser. Dude, that thing has been so fun to use. So fun. I have to pick up the prime rib. Nice. I'm playing. What site did I forget to update? My new debit card. Oh no. You'll know when services are canceled. Yeah, swapping out a card is such a pain in the butt. Christmas Eve is my daughter's birthday. Nice. And we're gonna hit Great Wolf's Lodge this weekend, but we pushed it after Christmas since the entire house. Oh no. What is Great Wolf's Lodge? Is that, I mean, a lodge? Is it up in the mountains, like a kind of getaway? My friend received her present from me. Forgot to tell her to wait. Oh no! She was very happy with her printed and painted Sting from Lord of the Rings. Oh no! Well, an early Christmas surprise. What are we doing today? We are going to be getting the toolhead mounted. We're going to be getting the bed mounted, and we're going to be starting to mount electronics. The Jack with you and all the staff will dote on him. Yeah, I don't know if my parents will end up watching him or if he'll go with us. It depends. It's been 100. Oh my gosh, we managed to get a cancellation bump on our replacement. What does that say? Oh, air conditioning unit. And painters finished yesterday, so guarantee kids will paint the walls tomorrow. Hopefully not. Jackson did grab a crayon last week and start to paint the wall. Aaron caught him quickly and was able to get it off, but I'm very aware of every wall's a canvas. Unless using different arms, using springs, the springs are for the bed. Okay, I think they are for the bed, you're right. My son should come into town this weekend and we will be heading over to my parents for Christmas. Nice, awesome, family time. Indoor water park, that sounds really cool. They have them all over it. Basically, it's a giant indoor water park. Okay. I've never heard of that. That sounds awesome. How do you explain to a friend the pineapple on pizza debate? Yeah, it is a heated debate. So yeah, it looks like it's really just these bearings going into... Oh wait, there's something else, isn't there? Because there's the heat insert. What is this? Okay, there's the bearing. So we've got, that's a bolt. It's an M316. Okay, so the M316s we need. M330s, M320s, M38s, M310. Oh, come on. M310s, M38s, M320s, M312s. Why is it always like... Oh, okay, M316s. Cool. So we got that. Then we've got... What is that? I don't know what exactly that is. It looks like a bearing, but it also looks like it has a nut on the end of it. So let me see if there's something else in here. These are, looks like just magnets and the spherical balls. These are that. M5 nuts. I don't think that's an M5 nut since these are M3 screws. I don't know. Looks like it's missing the thread on that model. Yeah, this is 3mm diameter on whatever this is. I don't think I have whatever this is. I don't know that that's needed. It's the little spacers. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need that. I'm pretty positive that what we're basically going to do is just the arm. So let's see. So typically, like, if I remember from in the past, like when I built a Delta, which was a long time ago, you have this, right? You have the bolt that goes through one of these little spacer guys, and then it goes through here, then it goes through the spacer, then it goes into the part. So I'm thinking like a standoff, like an RC cart. I just don't see it in this. I don't see it in this kit under hardware anywhere. Like, and it looks like that. I'll do one last pass here. It's definitely not there. Those are M3s. Those are M3s. These are adhesives. These are just that M3s. There's some what looks like a rubber gasket, which I don't think is related to that at all. We've got washers. Did I just drop a screw? I did. I dropped a baby screw. Where did it go? There it is. I'm thinking we probably are just going to move forward with what it seems like we've got here, because I don't see that. let's see what happens. So here. I am thinking we'll probably use Loctite on these screws. Let's see. So if I'm just gonna, before I do anything, kind of do a dry fit here and make sure that these screws actually fit. So let's see. Let me just dump these out. Okay, so screw with one of these little standoff guys. Okay. Like that. Then it goes through here. Like that. Then we've got another one of these little standoffs. Oops. And then it goes in there. I think that's right, and I think that's fine. It's possible that it's part of the heat insert model. Don't Loctite for now, wait until the end. Okay. I guess I can do that. Yeah, that seems fine. I don't see how that's gonna block anything. Yeah, I think we're fine like that. So we will proceed like that, and I won't Loctite, I guess, for now. Although my Loctite's not very tight, Phil. I think I'm just gonna do it, man. It's not hard for me to get it off, but if I don't end up needing to, I'd rather not have to disassemble it. So I'm just gonna do it. If I was using the really hard Loctite, then I would be more inclined to not do it right now. But because I just use the sort of entry-level Loctite as far as strength goes, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't want to overdo it, though, because I really don't want to cause the ABS to get brittle. So let's just do a teeny tiny bit. There we go, it's plenty. And I won't fully tighten these yet. I'll just get them in. I'll tighten them in the end. Make sure the bars are parallel. Wait, what would prevent them from being parallel? What would prevent them from being parallel? Tech. You mean just like from manufacturing? Like that they're not bent? They should always be once you assemble it. You never got the stream notification? Oh, on Discord? Yeah, I forgot to check today. So I know, like, I feel like a broken record about like, oh, I didn't sleep good last night, but I looked at the clock and it was 5 a.m. before I actually fell asleep last night. It was really bad. I was in bed by 2 and I was like, okay, like that's fine. And then I tossed and turned. I think I got up and had a granola bar at like 4. Yeah, we'll just loose for now. I think it means double checking to make sure each pair is the same length. God, I hope they are. I hope they are. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I don't really trust myself with red Loctite, so I never really use it. On top of that, with how often I'm tweaking things on any machine, it just doesn't really make sense to me to use red Loctite. When we end up finally doing the Trident gantry, and the plan is on that one to eventually do a heated chamber, I'll probably Loctite stuff on that a little more aggressively, just because I imagine through the expansion and contraction of the heated chamber, there's going to be a little bit more risk involved. But yeah, generally speaking, you know, I don't even need, let's just start by hand. Generally speaking, I just don't trust myself with red Loctite. think Jackson might be visiting. Yeah, Jackson's totally visiting. I hear an upset dog, which means that... Is there a jack attack? Nanya! Come here, bud. Come here, baby. You want to say hi to everyone? Yeah? Okay. Come on. No, don't touch that. Come on, baby. Come here. It's printing. No, don't close it. It's got to stay open. It's got to stay open. Yeah. He loves closing it. Come on, baby. All right. Look it. It's you. Can you see yourself? Your hair? Oh, in the back? No, the front. The front? What's wrong with your hair, baby? Which way? This way? Oh. Did you have a good nap? Yeah, it's printing. I'm printing out stuff to hold all of Daddy's cards because they're everywhere. Huh? They're such a mess. Look at your little polar bear. Is it a polar bear? Yeah. Or a bear? Just a bear? Yeah, that's the camera. That's the printer. That's the printer parts. Yeah. You slept for an hour? You have... Oh, you hit record, baby. Did you... Oh. No more, please. No more, please. Can you say hi? Say hi, everyone. Say Happy Holidays. You both. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. Huh? Yeah, the printer. You gonna go with Mama? Okay. I love you. I love you. There you go, baby. Daddy's gonna build. Okay, go with Mama. Thanks for saying hi. He really likes coming up and saying hi. Like he came up, did his little hi thing, and he was ready to go. He likes coming up and saying hi. It's pretty cute. All right, so yeah, let's get one more on the other side. It's the little known gray bear. Yeah, I took him out yesterday. I was going to get the mail, and he woke up from a nap. So, do you want to get the mail? Yeah. And there was some neighbor kids across the street, a couple houses down, and he pulled me across the street and just wanted to like stand and watch him play. He didn't really kind of engage, just did his own thing. I said, all right. The cool thing is, like, we don't know everybody on this street, but because it is a... Hold on. Because it is a new neighborhood, we know a lot of the people on the street, especially with kids. So like I know the family. I got to basically talk to them about mice facts for 10 minutes because I've learned so much about mice the past week here. If anyone came up to me and was like mouse trivia, I would absolutely nail it. What dog do you have? Oh, so we have 2 dogs. I'll show you Delilah really quick, our old lady. 1 second here. Let me see if I can turn this. She's licking her paws, being a bad girl. There we go. Let's see. Let's see, she's a little further away. Hey, Delilah, are you licking your paws? She turned her head to the corner. No, she's not supposed to. Hey, Delilah Bear. Delilah, can you come say hi? She just kind of sits in that corner all day. That's her spot. So, but yeah, so that's Delilah. She's 12 now. Oops, let me zoom out. Oh, wrong way. 1 second. There we go. Oh, she's moving. Yeah, so she's 12 now. She was a rescue that was abandoned as a puppy with her siblings. And we believe she is a lab and a pit. So she's very chocolatey labby as far as her fur goes and her color, but she's shorter and stubbier and stockier, and she's got a blockhead. So that's what we think she is. Bait, thank you so much for the donation. I don't know even what that is. HUF, thank you so much for the donation. And then Monkey, who Aaron got, is also a mix. She says he's a Queensland healer mixed with a pity. Looking at what a Queensland healer looks like and looking at him, I don't see it, but she does know the parents, so I mean, it kind of has to be that way. He is basically like a cinder block with legs. He is just not very big. Like I would say he's a mid-sized dog, but boy, does he weigh, like, it's just, like, he's like a cinder block with legs, just all muscle. So he's older too. I don't actually know his age now, but I would say so she got him after we were dating. We've been together for almost 9 years. He's probably close to 9 years old, I would say. And he's slowed down a bit too, which is actually really nice, because he used to, when you come home, run down the hall and jump at you, and it's just like a cinder block flying at you through the air. So I definitely am thankful that he's not quite, doing that anymore, because it could hurt. And also was sort of sketchy, like having Jackson, it's nice that he does not do that anymore. So yeah, so we got the two puppers. Those are our doggies. Solid, yeah, like 50 pounds solid. He's a pocket pitty. Yep. How long does it take to print the dog model? Long time, long time. We've been working on Doba for about 12 years, so. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. We call her Nanny Doba. She's a very good girl. She's our nanny. Okay, so I'm tightening down these screws. While I am tightening them, I'm still like not overdoing it. At least trying not to overdo it, because it is just a single M3 threaded, M3 heat insert. That's the words. So I don't want it to snap out. I have in the past like turned too hard and caused the thing to crack in place and kind of spin. So we don't want that. But yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, they're great. Monkey's a weirdo. The downside about Monkey is he's an aggressive dog. And it's interesting because like most people ask us like, oh, was he, what, like, and I'm like, did something happen to him? Basically, is like the question. I'm like, no, we've had him since a puppy. So when Aaron got him initially, he did have the parents of the dog watch Monkey for I think some months, because she was moving around and stuff and just needed to get situated before she could take Monkey. So I don't know if like he was neglected there, or if it's just completely unrelated to anything and it's literally just like him and his genetics and all that. But he's very he's quite skittish. So we've never had an issue with bringing people in the house and like if we're like, hey Monkey, like, and like greet the people, he's fine. Like we've never ever had an issue. He is awful with other dogs, like wants to kill all other dogs but Delilah. He grew up a little bit with my brother's dog, who's a purebred German Shepherd, and they were like best buddies, man. I mean, for the year or so they were living together, it was like hanging out in the little splash pool in the backyard and always just like two peas in a pod. And then they didn't see each other for years. I mean, 5-6 years. And my brother came out and visited 2 years ago, and we already knew that Monkey was sketch with other dogs. I had an instance when we were living in an apartment complex, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so years ago, where I had taken him out, and someone had another dog not on a leash, and I didn't see it. And it basically charged us with the intent to play, but it charged us. And Monkey just latched onto this dog like its neck, and I could not get him off. I like had him under my head. I was trying to pry his head off. Like it was terrifying. And so ever since then, we've been like, okay, no other dogs around you. So we knew that was the case. And then my brother, we were like, well, they grew up together. Maybe they'll be okay. And so we had them on leashes. Everything was fine, kind of. They were a little bit excited, and then it seemed like they'd calmed down. So we're like, okay, oh yeah, it worked out. So we took them off their leashes, and then Monkey just went into attack mode. I think that DJ like sniffed him, sniffed him, and he didn't like it, and so he got like, the way I would describe it is like he snapped and saw red, and so he attacked my brother's dog, which is a big German Shepherd. So luckily the dog was fine, but me trying to pry him off, like he cut my hand open pretty good, and so after that I'm just like, that's it, dude. Like we're not doing this anymore. So yeah. He's very skittish about things. Like, I've mentioned it before in my YouTube reviews, like the Polymaker dryer makes a beeping sound. anything that makes the beeping sound like that, he instantly just starts shaking, like terrified, scared. And like I joke, like where, you know, maybe in a past life he was abducted by robots or something like that. I, you know, obviously joking, but I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. So yeah, I felt really bad and apologized to the lady a bunch. But at the same time, you're right. Like dogs off leashes is not good. Like she didn't say, hey, is your dog friendly? Like the dog literally just charged Monkey. So I didn't feel good about the situation, but I also was like, you know, that's kind of your fault. But I did, once I brought Monkey inside, I ran outside and said, oh my God, like, is your dog okay? And she was apologizing to me. So I was like, all right, we're fine here. Her dog was also a, oh gosh, not an English bulldog. No. What are the, I think it was a bulldog, but like the smaller bulldogs. So it had a really thick skin, which was a positive thing in this situation. Okay, so it looks like this is the front of the printer. So it looks like we're going to want to install this guy. That's why there's leash laws. Yeah. I mean, of course I still felt bad, right? Like my goal isn't to have my dog attack any other dog ever, but it wasn't like my dog was my dog wasn't necessarily the aggressor in this situation. Their dog was the one that, nope, that's not right. That ran up to our dog. So, okay, so it looks like this is how we're going to, this is the direction we want this. French, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so it was either like a Frenchie then, yeah, or a Boston Terrier, one of the two. Wait, no, not Terrier. I think it was a Frenchie, or maybe it was a Boston Terrier. Yeah, it might have been a Boston Terrier. He was abused by a microwave. No microwaves. He doesn't like really anything beep sounds. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing, but now with the Toolhead. So M316s through here. You know what? I'll put a little bit of Loctite on the end of this, just teeny tiny bit. So through the spacer, through the arm, through another spacer, like so. This doesn't seem like it's turning far enough. Wait, unless... I'm a goofball, aren't I? This goes the other direction, doesn't it? I don't think it goes, I think it goes from outside in, not inside out. That makes a lot more sense. So let's go this way, like that. And then like that. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yay! It's hanging. All right. My closest friend used to have a similar temperament dog, and any time someone else had an off-leash dog, it's just like, you're gonna get the both of our dogs killed. Yeah. It sucks. Like it makes things difficult because we cannot board our dog. So we like can never travel together unless like, you know, parents are in town or something like that. It's been a challenge. It's definitely been a challenge. Okay, that is not going in. Is it because I've got plastic? I remember that. It's totally oh, dude, this is going to be interesting. So, for anyone that was here when we were assembling this, the heat inserts were difficult to get in. Yeah, that bottoms out quite a bit too early. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm going to damage this. Oh, it seems like it worked. Okay, yeah, it seems like it worked. Just the threads on these didn't go in very clean. The heat inserts, the threads were large for the cavities, so I have to push through a little bit of plastic as we do this, but it seems like that worked okay, so. Starting to really, yes, it is actually a printer. It's always like that with every build where it's kind of like, man, we're really not getting anywhere, are we? But then it all kind of comes together sort of quickly in the end. And once we've got this on and we've got the bed mounted, I mean, it'll be, mechanically, it'll be done. And it'll be just mounting electronics, wiring, and then figuring out the firmware side of things. I think I did this wrong again. No, that seems right.
For the Doggo Treat Fund, dog.
Thank you, Liz, for the Doggo Treat Fund. They definitely get, I wish I had a dog. I need to get like a howl built in. They definitely get their treats. They'll tell you otherwise, but I promise they do. We've got a jar on the sink that says like "good dog," and it's full of treats. I'm pretty sure my parents were over the other day and thought that the dog treats were human food. We've got some that kind of look like white Oreos, like you know, they look just like Oreos. There's stuffing and everything, but they're dog treats. And I think that caused some confusion. But yeah, we love them. They're nuts. They're definitely like, they bark all the time as if someone's at the front door, and there's like never, I mean, sometimes there are, but usually it's like, there's nobody there. This is the 10th time today. So they drive us a little bit nuts, but they have very good intentions. The best of intentions. This one's gonna have to push through some serious plastic. That seems like it's working okay though. Okay, I'll have to go around and tighten these again in the end here, but it's very exciting. Off-leash is illegal outside designated park areas. A few people ignore it, but the $180 US fine when the local municipal catch them soon, put them off. That's in Australia though, right? I don't know what the laws are like in the United States. I mean, there could be something. I really don't know. We've never been big like dog park people, so it really hasn't. It had never been an issue prior to that one time in our apartment complex. Like everywhere we've been, there's always people walking their dogs, but usually they're on a leash, and if they're not, they're like the most well-behaved dogs with their owners that clearly trust them, which, not saying that's a good thing either, but yeah, it's the one time. But I mean, I guess all it takes is one time, right? That's probably why the law exists. There we go. All right, one last arm, then I'll snug them down, and then we'll have to pull it up and down a couple times just for fun as a reward for getting the arms installed. The last screw. Through the arm, through the other standoff, and into the pocket. I'm not sure if that one went in straight. Seems like it did. No gummy bears. Yeah, no gummy bears. That's okay. It's funny how, like, with deltas, man, the arms take up so much of that vertical height. Like, it looks really tall, right? But you don't actually get that much travel distance and height because of how long the arms are. So, okay, let me snug these down. That's plenty tight. That's plenty tight. That's plenty tight. That's plenty tight. one's good. And that one's good. All right. So yeah, check it. So when we have this like fully homed, there we go. That's our height. Like this whole area up top just gets eaten by the arms. So although they are very tall, you really don't have, you know, that much height to work with here. So, but yeah, look at that. Arms are installed. It looks like they're all engaging with the limit switches up top, which is exactly what we want. So sweet. Yay. Let's do I have a yay? I need like a, not my dogs, they're butt heads. Are there any benefits of a Delta versus a CoreXY? Loosely. So, for one, your footprint is a lot smaller, which could be a benefit depending on your situation, right? Like, it's just a lot more compact because it's
Have a
like
lovely
this
holiday.
versus
Treats
this.
for Jack and the boys.
Lisa! Oh my goodness. Let me pull up, sorry. It doesn't, those donations go through Stream Elements. One second. Stream Elements. I used to pull it up, but I forgot. Live streamers. Here we go. Wow. Lisa, thank you so much for the $40 donation. Merry Christmas. Have a lovely holiday. Treats for Jack and the boys. Thank you so much. The air horn. Cheers. Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it. It will... we actually didn't get much for Jack for Christmas because he's been so spoiled leading up to Christmas. But I know that... and grandparents, my parents are going to be here for Christmas, and they're bringing gifts. And Aaron's parents have shipped over a bunch of gifts. But I know that Aaron's had her eyes on a like indoor trampoline for Jackson. That's basically just like a small trampoline with a little like thing you can hold onto while you bounce. So maybe we'll get him that. She really wants it, and it would be good to burn out his energy on that. So, but thank you very much for the support, Lisa. And the dogs will get plenty of treats, I promise. Lately it's been like, oh man, I made a little too much chicken. You know, here's some chicken. So, yeah, there's Erin in chat. I really wanted to get a trampoline. Yep. She's had her eyes on it. Oh, Delta, sorry, Delta backtracking. So before CoreXYs, I would say there was a lot more appeal for Deltas. Now there are CoreXYs, there's a little less appeal. Similar to, and this is very niche, but similar to like the 2.4 where the bed doesn't move at all, I do know of a couple people that 3D print on fabric, and if you're 3D printing on fabric, having your fabric not move at all is really beneficial, even over like the Trident, but especially over an i3. But if you have this, it's kind of the same scenario, but that was another benefit. But other than that, really not a whole lot. I mean, it's always been, previously, I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, it was like, okay, they run Bowdens usually, so the tool heads are really lightweight. They're usually very stiff and rigid, and the bed's not moving, so they can push higher speeds. But that's kind of changed because direct drives have gotten so much better and so much lighter weight due to gear reductions, or the various gear ratios, and just the quality of the extruders. And then on top of that, now we have CoreXYs. But I still really like Delta printers. Like they're just such a very cool motion system. But because something's cool, does that mean that you should build one? Not necessarily, but it could mean that. But yeah, there's not nearly as much of a specific gain over something like a 2.4 or CoreXY if you don't need some of the niche use cases that the Deltas can give you. So you lose the corners of the plate, so not efficient. Yeah, yep. Single step moves more as the head gets near the edge. Input shaping. Okay, let's get the bed installed. That is going to be our next big thing here. So, did I disable the bed, or was there just not a picture of the bed on here? Let's see if I go like this. Bed. There we go. Okay, let me get all the stuff out for the bed. Nice that they only use 3 motors as well. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. You're not needing multiples for Z, for tramming or anything like that. Oops. Okay, so here's our bed. I'm going to assume this is the top because it's got our sort of pocketed out holes. So if that's the top, let's see. I'm going to assume that these 3 big ones are for the ball. Let me see. Can I isolate? Isolate further. Exit isolation. Isolate selection. Okay, so here. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be where the bolts go for those balls, but let me see if I turn isolation off. Yeah, it is. So it looks like everything on it is pretty much the same in all directions. We just want to make sure that this is kind of how we are doing this. Deltas are easier to enclose and make a high temp build also. Yeah, I think this one's kind of the exception to that with it being so printed, and also the way this one's designed, you lose a lot of build space when you enclose it, which is a bit of a bummer. They are probably my favorite 3D printer type. I've always had such a love for Delta printers. I think they're freaking sweet. Okay, so this is the bottom. And as long, it doesn't really matter, this is centered. So really, we don't want it to go right where that hole is, but anywhere like that's fine. It doesn't cover the whole bed. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to clean off, we take some isopropyl and clean that off. We'll get this placed. Then we'll put the, how's that gonna work? Okay, the insulation does work actually. It'll cover, okay, yeah, we'll be all right. Okay, so first things first, let's clean off. There's some like grease and fingerprint crap on here, so, excuse me. Should have some isopropyl, yep. Always got isopropyl. I'm so excited for this card organizer. You have no idea. Like it's just, it's chaos. Like the cards, it's chaos. Please tell me you're gonna enclose it with a massive Tubler box. No, I don't even think I'm gonna enclose it at all. Once Zombie showed me like how, do the bed magnet first? Why? No, bed magnet first will block things. I'd rather do the bed magnet after I've got everything so then I can just block it. It's a pretty hard magnet. I definitely am not going to punch out holes on it. So I'd rather do everything else first and then do the bed magnet. The one thing I should probably do first though is no, we're fine. Yeah, no. This is, I don't think I can cut through this without damaging it, guys. It's not a, if you look at this, this is not a soft, like this is a hard, I would need something super, super sharp to cut through this. I guess, yeah, I'd be scared to drill through it because I would damage the M3 threads. I don't think I'm gonna cut through it. Yeah, it's a hard, it's not like your normal soft fridge magnet. Like it's got a very hard top layer to it. Milo mill. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for it. And hope for the best. Honestly, And then if worst comes to worst, I have to, if I end up having to replace in the future, then I will end up getting one that's not this type of magnet. Center punch and then drill. So I think his thought in putting the magnet first was for the reason that I can drill through the magnet. Usually you do the magnet first so you can drill through it or cut through it. Usually you can just use like an X-Acto knife or something like that. Yeah, this bed floats on balls, exactly. So it's not attaching to anything. It's just going to be floating on the little guys. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything with it, guys. Also, another thing to note as well, that it's less of a big deal. So if we look at this, it doesn't actually cover the full base. So those are not going to be covered. So if I ever needed to in the future, I could try, you know, I could try to get through them later on. Heat plate, the large holes at top screw. Yeah, so it doesn't cover the holes is basically what I'm getting at. So it's not like one of those situations where once you've got it through, you can't do anything. Like, I could always just lift it off and try drilling in the future if I ever needed to remove it. But for now, I don't think it's the move. I would rather... I don't know. I haven't actually seen these magnets used very often. Honestly, like, usually when I see this kind of magnet, it's on like a Creality plate or whatever, where it's the entire thing, right? Like where it's the magnet and it's the surface you're printing on, which isn't the case here. They give you a powder-coated bed for the top of it. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, in this case, it's not if it would be a bigger deal if the if the heating element was covering those holes. But since it's not, it really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna install it, and then if I have to remove it in the future, again, it doesn't really change anything having the heating element on since I have clearance for all those holes. Check live stream. All right, I'll check for you, Delmar. But I'm pretty set in my stubborn ways on this. Layer of hardened film on the surface of the magnet to prevent the surface from easily being scratched, crushed, or peeled off. High temperature resistance. Temperature resistance is above 100 Celsius compared to the magnetic stickers about 80. So higher temp resistance. Don't touch it with a high temp nozzle. Clean the bottom. More magnetic, higher resistance, stronger, more durable. Yeah. So we're just gonna do the thing. But everyone, like I do want to state that like everyone is correct in their thinking that generally speaking on every other build, you put the top surface on and then you use something, be it a drill bit, a X-Acto knife. I mean, we've used all sorts of different things and you can usually just puncture it, but it's just not the case with this one. I think I said hi to RH3D. If I didn't, I read it in my head, I think, and then like responded in my head. So I'm saying hi again. If I said hi already, then that's fine. I can say hi twice. Hi, RH. Too many things were going on in my head at the same time. It's just showing them off. Okay. High temp, Loctite the balls then, since you won't be able to get the screw heads after the magnet goes on. Yeah, that's fine. I can Loctite those balls on. Yep. That is not a bad idea at all. Okay, so I am just going to... Let's see, do I have any more slack? a little bit of slack. I'm just going to do my best with this. So let's peel. I am confirming I'm installing this on the correct side. So I'm just peeling it a little bit. I'm going to try to kind of center it. It feels about right. Okay, it didn't stick at all, so that's fine. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, so I spit on the belt. All right, so we're going back and forth, 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 and back and forth. Okay. We also have a... No, this is not a grounding wire. It doesn't have a grounding wire, so we need to install a grounding wire. Okay, so I will... It doesn't... Luckily, this thing is not sitting... Oh, crap. I don't think I ran a grounding wire, did I? I'm gonna have to run a grounding wire. Wait, no, there should be... We should have AC coming in there, so no, that'll be easy. Okay, all right. Okay, so next we're gonna put this insulation on. I don't have high, I'm just gonna use the Loctite that I have. It's what I've always used. I don't actually have high temp Loctite. It's the same Loctite. Okay, this stuff sucks to peel off. All right, we are tearing. There we go. Okay, we still have access to all of our holes. This is just a little thermal insulation to help heat things up a little bit quicker and hopefully help to evenly distribute a bit more. Okay. So, next up is balls. M3/8. Balls of Steve. Hey, Steve's here? Did I miss Steve? Where's Steve at? There he is. He never said hi to me. Hey, Steve. Everyone say hi, Steve. I'm chatting with Steve later today. We haven't gotten like a good deep catch up in many months because of travels. He's been a world traveler, and then I was traveling, then I was sick, and then he was traveling, and so we're gonna chat later today. I'm looking forward to it. I've got mouse updates for Steve. I need him to send his cats over, Steve. I caught mouse number 7 this morning, buddy. Too many mice. That is at least too many. All right, so we've got Loctite, we got M3/8. Where's our balls? We are looking for 3 balls. Here they are. The trifecta. All right, there's our balls. Okay. So we are going to put a little bit of Loctite on these.
Tilt the plate on its side. Let's raise this to the top. In the car. No, no, no. Just one in the car. Just one. That's too many to me, though. One mouse in the car is at least one too many. But no, not in the car, thankfully. One in the car and just 6 in the garage. I don't know if this bolt's gonna... This seems like too big of a bolt. You guys can't see what I'm doing because it is too low when my hands are covering the whole dang thing. All right, let's see. I don't think this is gonna work. No, definitely not. M3 by 8s seem massive. We need like M3 by 4s. Unless I'm doing something wrong, but we confirmed it's going through the larger hole. Is there anything else on the bottom of these? It looks like it's just bolt to ball. Yeah, M3 8s definitely won't work though. It's probably if you got a thicker plate, but we were not gifted with a... Although this plate seems relatively thick. So M3 10s, M3 12s. We've got tiny little button heads. So they gave us M3 6 button heads. I'd rather use socket heads. And that's really it. So I think I'll have to go into my stash. Let's see, M3 8s, M3 4 flat heads. Do I not have what we need? Don't say that, there's no way. M3 4s, cool. I've got M3 4s. Try 6s. Oops. Yeah, let's try M3 6s and see if this will work. Yeah, M3 8s are definitely too long. So we have a pest company we pay for, but it's like for... Hold on, let me see if this will work. Yeah, okay, M3 6s work great. So we have a pest company we pay for that does like seasonal spraying and knocking down wasps and spiders outside the house and all that stuff. And they came out yesterday and did a deep dive and showed me a bunch of entry points for mice into our house. And then they quoted me $700 to handle it, and then an increase of our monthly cost by $40 to maintain it. So I had them send me the quote because I didn't want to just like let them down on the spot. I just was like, hey, that seems like a lot. I'm probably just going to do it myself. When I was talking to one of my neighbors yesterday, they let us know that they have a pest company that's a lot less than that. But yeah, I think for right now, I'm going to just handle it as much as I can. They kind of explained to me what they would do, and I already ordered the steel wool stuff and started installing it into the gaps in the house, like basically that would let them get into the crawl space. So we'll see. They didn't see any nests, which was a huge concern of mine. But they did use the term mouse party when referring to our crawl space, which I can't say I loved. Okay, so what the heck? This ball doesn't want to go in nearly as far. I think I might need to use Steve's, these guys. Let's grip our ball. It's a really awkward angle because the wires are semi-routed. Okay, that's nice and tight. So one more. Is it going to swing some rugs? I don't know that, Mr. Melted. We're going to get the bed mounted and start mounting electronics, but I have a feeling by the time we start doing wiring and mounting all the electronics, it probably won't happen, but I don't know. Every time I'm overly optimistic about a build, it takes a lot longer, so I'd rather be like, nah, man, it ain't gonna happen. And if it does, then I can be pleasantly surprised. Come on, balls. There we go. Need a barn cat, I know. I had to call the waste management because they damaged our bin. They like knocked off one of the wheels, and I was talking to the lady about mice because that's what my life's become. And she was talking about cats, and I said, yeah, this might be the perfect opportunity to convince Aaron we've got to get a cat. I've been wanting a cat for some years, but our dog Monkey is kind of one of the big reasons like one of the actual good reasons of why we probably shouldn't get one yet. All right. Oops. That's a very loose, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so our balls are on, our heater's on. I am going to have to install a grounding cable to the bed. I don't think our frame is grounded either, and I'm not entirely sure. I might go with the T-nut method for grounding the frame, where I basically just scratch off a bit of the anodization and then put a grounding wire on a T-nut and see if that will work. It's worked in the past. I think that's what we did on the Merc, but I'm not exactly sure if all these extrusions are even tied together, so that might not work. You might not be able to ground the frame effectively because they're actually installed into plastic. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna ground the bed. Are you just telling every random person you talk to about yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. Anyone that like, yeah, like I've become the mouse guy, basically. The neighbors were laughing at me when I was talking to them because it was the neighbor, one neighbor and the neighbor across the street. And I was making all sorts of probably bad jokes about like Ghostbusters and such. So it's definitely, it's, yes. I didn't choose the mouse life. The mouse life chose me. So here we are. This is 30. It's my subject matter has changed. Involuntary hyperfixation. Yeah, that's me. That is me. Well, most people just probably search mousetraps. I'm researching everything about their reproductive behaviors and learned that one of the craziest facts I learned is that mice have essentially two noses. They have like their external nose, and they have a small, or like a internal nose that can smell other pheromones of other mice. And that nose lets a mouse smell the sex of a mouse from up to 10 miles away. So there's a fact for you that you probably didn't know. One that I probably could have lived without, but I've shared it with a few people. Don't cross the traps? What? Don't cross the traps. Are you talking about mouse traps? Or are we talking about something related to this printer? The more you know. Yep, exactly. You hit max level in 3D Maker and just coincidentally classed into Druid. That's basically it. I've maxed out, like, I played a lot of Destiny at one point, so I've maxed out, like, my Warlock class, and now I'm a Hunter class, starting over. Oh, okay. Ghostbuster joke. Gotcha. It went over my head. Over my head. That's not perfectly aligned. That feels pretty good. It's a little bit harder to do the peel thing on this one because it's a lot stiffer of a bed than I'm used to. So I usually just start peeling and then slowly peel and go back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Steve has like a legit, it's almost like a paint roller for applying his. I'm like, that's next level, Steve. I just peel him back, forth. Peel, 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 peel. There we go. How did they measure that? I don't know, Reverend. That is a fantastic question. Aaron and me have had fun with it though. Like we were saying, like, you know, if mice could tell like which mouse is where, and like a mouse that they don't like has left the 10-mile vicinity, you know, and gone away, and then comes back, and they're like, oh, like, you know, Richard's back, or, you know, something like that. Okay. Okay, it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Like it looks actually, it looks like a printer now. I'm very pleased with this toolhead being on, the bed being on. Let's see, a squeegee with a felt edge. Yeah, sticks better with pressure. I apply pressure, man. I apply pressure. This hand is applying pressure. I have a briar roller for, oh, nice, for vinyl cutting. Hey, F! Definitely Ghostbusters joke. I have so many hours in that game. Yeah, when it first came out, I was still living at my best bud's house, and we like maxed everything, and then the raid dropped, and we beat the Leviathan raid, which was so much fun. And I haven't played it in a lot of years. I just haven't played a lot of games. I have a really hard time with portion control, and video games are just such a time sink. Not that my cards are any better. I just replaced one time sink with another time sink, but I just had such a hard time, like, especially when I was like, I've got a 9 to 5 and I've got all the YouTube stuff. Like, it's really difficult for me to be like, oh, I'll just play one round. One round turns into like 5 hours, and then, you know. So, how far are we from movement? Still a bit, still a bit. I'm going to, the next thing I'm going to do right now is start mounting electronics, I think. Yeah, we'll get some of the stuff mounted up top. Let me see here. Yeah, we're still a ways away from like movement. I don't think I'll put the covers on any of the arms until we're verifying that everything is working. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's flip this over. Let's take the, oh, the bed's gonna be flipping and a flopping, isn't it now? I didn't think. Why did I not think? I might need to install a disconnect for the thermistor wires on the bed. I can lay it down. That works. Okay. Can't apply enough pressure with dude, you got it wrong, man. These are giant hands. You're giant. These are the hands of a giant. Okay, let's get the feet installed. I'm assuming these look like they're probably just self-tapping screws for the colors. So let's pull those out. 1, 2. Three. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Definitely looks great. Yeah, it's looking, I'm very pleased with how it's looking. Once we get the skirts on and the covers on, it's gonna look even better. But I'm gonna wait on the skirts and the covers. Well, I want to get the feet on, so we will do these, which are just kind of pretty, but I wanted to get the actual like rubber feet on, and then we'll start mounting things. But the rest of the kind of covers we'll wait on for a bit here. So is this just a nut? Yeah, okay, so that's just a nut. It must be the M5 nuts. It doesn't show what screws to use for these feet, but I am fairly convinced they're gonna be like self-tappers, but I actually don't see self-tappers. Now I don't know what the heck. I don't know what the heck we're supposed to use for those. I'm gonna assume M3/8s then. Let's see. M3/8s. Yeah, we'll try this. It seems to work okay. It is hot up here. What does the temp say? 74. It's not awful. Everybody, yeah, if you have not smacked the like button, please do. I haven't checked it at all today. I've been very distracted. Nice, we got 130 people here. Yeah, 50 likes. Yeah, smack the like button, guys. Come on. Come on. Smack the like button for no ads during streams. We got rid of all ads. Just finished the wiring on the 5th stealth burner. Oh, that's so cool. Now I've hit the roadblock of waiting for the sleeves and pins for the docks, which won't get arrived till a month. Oh, a month, that is a long time. Especially when I'm in the middle of a project. I'm like, oh, thank God for next day shipping with Amazon or something like that. That's exciting though. It's super exciting. These little orange accents on the feet look really nice. I'm not loving, let's see. Let me see if the Fabrico, it's kind of hurting my hands, the little drivers. There we go. It's a little bit better, I think. You'll have to post some videos or photos and stuff. I'm still gonna call you Phil. Still gonna call you Phil, even with your new name. I can know that that's your new name, but unless you have any reason not to, it feels weird to not call you Phil after all this time. You're gonna have to post some photos and videos as you get it sort of dialed in. Is it bad that Fadis sent me a nozzle for the K1C, so I had to buy one so I could use that does not surprise me, Luke. That is very, very much on brand. Okay, that is still loose. There we go. Ah! This screw is popping through, as is this one. Oh, what gives, man? All right, well, I guess these ones are gonna be M36s. They didn't fully puncture through, but there's pretty big stress marks. I'll hit it with a heat gun. It's been the name of this build a little bit has been hit it with a heat gun. Yeah, we'll do just silvers. It's on the bottom, so you won't be able to see the different colors. Yeah, those are a little too large. Good as new. Perfect. What stress marks? All right, so M36s for side guys. My soldering at 4:30 a.m. wasn't the best. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be soldering at 4:30 a.m. Okay, that is as far as we're going, bud. All right, that one's done. Be careful with the bed. Okay. It looks slightly warped, but I think we'll be okay. I got a CoreXY Pro and I don't own a Bamboo. What someone said that it'll work fine on a Prusa printer. Like it'll hang off a little bit, but they are releasing more sizes. They commented in my video basically saying that they're going to be releasing one for the GD+4, so I'm pretty excited to get that in. I'll definitely swap that out because I consistently got heat creep with it. The reason why I have the Bamboo Lab printer open behind me isn't for heat creep, but I have noticed as of recently that for PLA, if I don't have it open, my overhangs are just a lot uglier. And there's not actually a lot of overhangs with this, and it's such a large piece that I don't think it would actually matter, but I am, for this one, at least keeping it open when I can, when printing PLA. The P1S in the garage is a different story. The ambient temperature in the garage is just so much colder that I don't think it really matters as much. But for this one, it gets pretty dang hot up here. Like it was 76 or 77 Fahrenheit earlier up here, and just from all the lights and computers and crap, so. Okay. Okay, those big ones are on. Now we need the smaller ones for the outside so we don't split more parts. Yeah, we split quite a few pieces on this build. Mostly due to screw size. The other one was like all these pieces. No, I think it's on the other side. Needed spacers, and I didn't install spacers because it doesn't call for them. So I'm hoping it won't be an issue, but I think in the end it's all going to be just fine. Okay, 2 down, and then once we get the third one on, we'll install the rubber feet, and then we'll get the SSR and power supply mounted on the bottom, and then we will move our way up to the top of this printer. I do think installing some like quick disconnects for the bed is probably a really good idea on this since it doesn't hold. Since it's not mounted, since it's just floating. I do worry about long-term damage to the thermistor due to the kind of strain on it. Hey Alex, yeah, it's definitely going together. We got the bed done today. We got the Toolhead mounted, putting the feet on right now, and then we're gonna start mounting electronics. So yeah, we're kind of in the, dare I say, home stretch. Kind of in the home stretch here. Which is exciting. I mean, I have mixed feels. It's always bittersweet finishing a build. Like, it's exciting watching it all come together, but I do enjoy the process of it coming together a lot. So it's probably another part of the reason why I don't really, like, I think I could build a lot of these printers quicker, but I sort of take my time and enjoy it and rant about stuff. It's how I prefer to build. It's a bit of a different story when I'm doing things off stream, and I'm usually just have some like background noise on to sort of zero in on what I'm doing. I print PIA enclosed on my P1S. Oh, PLA enclosed. I just turn on the exhaust fan, gets to 32 cm tempo. Nice. Yeah, I've always printed PLA on X1 carbon and P1S fully enclosed up until like this. And it's not an issue. It really was. I was printing out parts for this, I think, on this X1 carbon just last week, and they were pretty small, and there just wasn't enough time for it to cool. Even with a second one, which was still a relatively small piece. And so by opening it, it made it where I didn't have to change any settings and it was able to cool quicker. But yeah, it's usually not needed. I've never had like heat creep issues like I've had with the GD4. The GD4 updated video will be coming out, not this weekend. I'm not doing a video this weekend. It'll come out the following weekend. I spent so much time on that home tech video for that laser, like a ridiculous amount of time. One, it's really long, it's 23 minutes long, but I think I had like 400 to 500 clips that I had to go through. It just was nuts. So I need this weekend to just work on some stuff, get caught up on things. And then next weekend will be the +4 updated video with the new SSR, and I can finally publish my review on it. One second. Bitry offering unreleased gear to streamers for giveaways has started to bite back. Panda Edge won't even be in Bitry's hands till end of January. Even the Bitry reps don't know what they were and had to ask. I don't know what that is. Panda Edge, I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, laser works with Lightburn. Yeah, I exclusively use Lightburn with it. It's using a Ruida controller, so yeah, Lightburn's fully compatible with Ruida. So the only things I'll be doing to that laser is adding a camera to it. So we need feet. We need feet. There's no feet in here. So that must mean there's feet somewhere down below. There we go. Feet. It's okay, it's a scraper, gotcha. You mentioned there probably won't be a stream next week, but are you gonna take the first off also? Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I'll talk to Aaron. The first is our anniversary, but we're celebrating it on a different day, and we wouldn't be doing anything midday. So I'm gonna say I'll probably be streaming. I really don't want to take 2 weeks off, but I'll talk to her after the stream and make sure that that's fine, and then I'll let everybody know. But yeah, the plan is to stream not next week, but the following week. So yeah, ring in the new year. Okay, so for these feet, we need to load M5 nuts into the printed part, and then there's not mention of size for the bolts. So let's see what we've got for M5s. We've got M520s, which could very well be what we're needing. That's probably what we're needing. Let me check. Oops, let me check this. I'm gonna say it's M520s. Yeah, it's gonna be M520s. So the feeder M520s, I'm almost tempted to use a washer. I've dented these feet before. You don't want to over tighten these feet. There's metal in the center, but it still dents quite easily. It happened on my LDO kit. Not because there was an issue with the feet themselves. It's not a very thick piece of metal. So yeah, we're gonna use these M5 washers for the feet to... Oh, is Aaron taking off? I hear the garage opening. I thought we were going somewhere together. Huh. Or maybe she's just letting Jack out? I don't know. I heard the garage door open. I'm above the garage, so I hear all. M520s, yep. Okay, so we're gonna use a washer. We're gonna use M5 bolts. I got a cheap fan shroud from AliExpress on my P1. It costed €9. SLS. Wow. It was actually surprised. Oh, that was weird. Sorry. I heard a sound, but it's the X1 carbon rattling the entire workbench, and the grease is shaking and tapping the WD-40 can. So it kind of sounded like a squeak. I wasn't expecting it to be a mouse, but I just wanted to see what the heck the noise was. I don't know if we need washers on this. It's actually not, with the socket head, it doesn't really, no, we're not going to waste the washers. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so we need M5 nuts. That we do need. M5 nuts, M5 nuts. Where are my M5 That's here they are. Since you built the 2.4, how many times have you used it? Quite a lot. Not recently, but I leaned on it fairly heavily for at least the first 6 months or so. But yeah, not a whole lot lately. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just haven't actually... I've got one power cable for pretty much this whole bench of printers, and the X1 Carbon has been what's been plugged in, so... I like the 2.4 a lot, though. I will say that. It is a really solid printer. It's also just fairly tricky for me to print up here, since I do all of my recording up here, and it's loud. So I have to really plan prints around that. So I do a lot more printing of stuff that's in the garage. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's plenty tight. Big Tree BQ seems like they're running on ship. My current Toolhead build is I've been waiting for the parts that are preparing to ship soon. They've been doing a lot. Like, they've been blasting out a lot of products, and I am a really big fan of Big Tree Tech. I've covered a lot of their stuff, and I was all aboard when they first launched a 32-bit Marlin controller that was affordable for the masses, because there really wasn't a lot of options back then. And they have been cranking out a lot of stuff. I wish they would slow down a little. Like, for the most part, I feel like they've done a pretty solid job, but like, and I mean, so everyone complains, right, about just about everything because that's what we do. But a lot of people complain about their documentation, and I will say, compared to a lot of other manufacturers, their documentation is actually quite good, but it still could be better. I won't deny that. There's plenty of times where I've gone through it and I'm just like, that leaves a little bit open to interpretation. But for the most part, I still think that they are doing a really good job. But everyone's got their own opinions. I mean, some people like them a lot, some people don't. And that's fine by me. If you don't like them, then you know, don't buy their product. Hey Chris, how's everyone doing? Pretty good, man. No real complaints. Yeah, no real complaints. How you doing? Hey BBs. Okay, one more nut. One more. Oh, here it is. Okay. Our feet are on. Let's stand it up really quick, and then we're just going to lay it back down so we can do the power supply stuff. But boom! Look at that. Those little orange accents look really nice. Yep, it feels nice and sturdy. I love it. Done yet? No, Killa. You know that we build at the speed of snail. All right. Are you familiar with Monsters Incorporated? You know, I'm watching you, Mike Bazowski. That's basically me when it comes to building. That's my spirit animal of building. So now we're taking it slow. We're making good progress. Toolhead's mounted, bed's on. We just got the feet installed. So we're gonna mount the power supply and the SSR to the base next, and then yeah, we're making some good progress here. How you doing, man? Merry almost Christmas and happy almost New Year. Okay, yeah, let's lay this bad boy down again. Oh, the print's done. That was a very long print. Does it say how long it took? It'll probably unload and then tell us how long it took. It's 2,480 layers. I also printed it very likely with settings that were too strong for what it needed. I did 4 walls, 4 top and bottom layers, and 20% infill. But cards are pretty heavy. And with how much it's gonna hold. Yeah, so it was a 14-hour and 53-minute print. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Looks pretty good. Oh, jeez. It's a little bit of stringing, that's fine. And this is the Big Tree Tech, or BQ, speaking of BQ. This is Glacier, their Glacier Cryo Grip. I found that it has more than, like, it's way strong for PLA. The other one's great. It's even stronger for PLA, but it's unnecessary for a lot of what I'm doing. Almost a bit too much. Like, I think for a bed slinger, it kind of makes more sense when you're printing really big parts. But for an enclosed printer like this, you just don't need all that adhesive. This is plenty. I did add a little brim though, I will say that, because some of these parts, like, they don't feel like, not that they weren't designed to be printable, but it doesn't feel like that was their first concern with designing them. It was sort of like, let's design the thing and then figure out how to make it printable. That's the vibe I get. So they print tall, and I just wanted, because it was a 16-hour, or what did I say, 15-hour print, I didn't want them to knock over. So I've got a lot more pieces to go. This is like one of the corners, and then it'll bolt onto another corner, and then there'll be tons of screws, and yeah, it should be cool. Got one printing, another plate printing on the P1S in the garage. It should be done any minute, and then I'll load up 2 more plates and keep the party going. This is a passive Python. Yeah. So it was a kit from Voxel PLA, and when they sent it, it had the cutouts for the dryers on the front and the back, which is 4 poly dryers, which I don't think my circuit could handle 4 dryers, and it's way overkill. So I swapped it out for a custom cut panel, which I just showed off in the OhmTech video. So I still have slots on the back where I can passively dry, but honestly, a lot of what I'm printing is PLA and ABS, and it's just not an issue. There is PTG loaded right now, so it could be nice. So I'm not saying I won't ever use the active drying aspect of it, but for right now, it just hasn't made a whole lot of sense for me. I like the system a lot, but yeah, it's just passive, like, you know, the heat, whatever's rising up from underneath. And I actually need to add, that's another thing I need to add. I do want to add desiccant to it. I have a ton of desiccant I bought for the poly dryers, and I've only used a little bit for the tiny little, you know, bit in the poly dryers. So I need to print out some tins and put them in here, because that would help at least prolong the time frame between me needing to re-dry things like PTG. How are you liking? Oh yeah, okay. So I like the Python AMS mod a lot. It's just really nice. I've used the so the 4th bay. For anyone that didn't watch the video, this mod like does quite a few things. 1, it lets you use bigger spools. 2, cardboard definitely doesn't matter because you're not rolling it on the spool anymore. You're rolling it on its gear system. It's a lot smoother, and you can turn any slot into a like bypass slot, so it doesn't go through the AMS gears, because you can't use carbon fiber or abrasives through the gearing on here. It'll just eat away at it. And so in the past, I've had to use the spool mount on the back side of the printer, which has worked fine, but I don't really love having to get behind the printer. Right now I have fairly clear access, but it's still kind of a pain. So the 4th bay on here actually has 2 PTFE tubes, where one of them feeds into the AMS system and engages the gears, and the other one just passes it completely and shoots out the back of the machine, so I can just load it in. So because it's rolling on bearings, there's no friction, it's free spinning, so it allows me to do that. So yeah, I like the Python a lot. It's a big mod. I'm not saying everyone needs it. Like, a lot of times when I do upgrades or mods, like, some of them are just for fun, some of them serve purpose, but a lot of times those purposes aren't like just all broad. Like, they're kind of targeted. Like, is this you? Are these your issues? And like, this might be good for you. If it's not, then it's probably not for you. But for me, I love it. I really have liked using the Python. So, hey Nazo. That's Glacier. I mentioned it, but yeah, that's the Glacier one. So I'm just waiting to see if Polymaker is going to sell their dryers separate from the boxes. Yeah, that would be cool. There's definitely demand. Weird why LDO didn't send any of their box turtles to you guys. So I know that they've been doing beta testing, and I'll just come out and say it. I talked to Jason recently and was told that I will be getting a box turtle kit. So we will be building one. Honestly, had he sent one sooner, I really don't like bumping companies. Like if they've sent a product, like for, you know, if I've agreed, like, hey, we'll build this Doron Velta, like I try to keep the queue as like first in, first out type thing. So I wouldn't have even been able to start building it anyway, really. So yeah, I'm sure Jason and LDO had their reasonings, and yeah, we will be building one. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, niche purpose. Yep, a lot of the mods are niche purpose, but that's good. It's nice to have things that are for niche purposes, because if everything was generic, then that would suck. You wouldn't have all the needs met and filled. So Python mod was one of the best things I did for my P1S. Yeah, I really like it. I missed which one you said was doing work. Yeah, it's the Glacier. I mentioned I like the Frostbite a lot. The adhesion is stronger than Glacier, like for sure. But I think that it's better suited for bed slingers where it needs that added adhesive or that added strength grip. Like in here, because I mean, even with it being open, it's just the bed's fairly stationary. It's just dropping. The heat still sort of stays contained, at least more than on an open frame bed slinger. And like something like that would have been really tough. Well, it's a flex plate, so not really, but yeah, I guess this plate can take all the different materials. So I like having it on here because the X1 Carbon does get thrown a bunch of different things. Unlike the A1 or the A1 Mini, I would very likely be rocking Frostbite over Glacier. So, yep. Did you ever figure out those vertical artifacts from EasyBot? I did not. Nope. Steve and me had talked a little while ago about the TMC Auto Tune plugin for Clipper, and we wanted to play around with that. And I can't remember. I can't remember if Steve ended up doing that and getting positive results. I'll ask him. We're talking tonight. We're gonna chat, just catch up on life stuff. So I'll ask if I remember. I'll ask tonight. But no, I have not figured out what the cause was for it, which sucks. Box Turtle probably didn't fit with your schedule. They were looking to get these built and tested soon. Yeah, I know for the units that went out, they were like beta units, but like close to finished units, and they were really looking for people that can build them quickly and see like, was there any issues? Was there missing parts? Like what could be better? So yeah, I don't think I could have built it in the time frame. I have a very hard time committing to time frames because of the fact that there's just so many moving pieces always. So I can't wait to see the box turtle. Yeah, I'm personally waiting on the Big Tree Tech. I'm curious about that too. I should have one of those Big Tree Tech units coming at some point as well. So they wanted me to build mine within a couple of weeks of receiving it to provide feedback. Yep, kicking my schedule allowed for it. You'll love the box turtle. I'm super freaking excited. Putting some Modesty mesh. Oh, is that the side? Is that for the side covers? Like, so you can't see into the electronics? I see Clipper now had an auto sync function. That's cool. Yeah, that's super cool. Where can I sign up for beta testing? I don't know where they do calls for beta testing. I really don't. I would assume probably Discords, but yeah, I don't know. All right, so we are going to install our power supply, and it looks like it just uses these little standoff guys. So I'm assuming bolt through standoff into a T-slot, or not a T-slot, but one of the rolling nuts. And then this side has got quite a bit more going on for it. So we've got an actual kind of standoff. So let's see. Printed parts. I'm gonna take out all these skirts, or at least throw them to the back. Okay, here's one standoff. Here's another standoff. And here's this. This should be... Oh, this should be everything we need. I think we're going to have to remove these bolts, though. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to remove these bolts. Hopefully we have bolts long enough. So looking at this, I mean, it doesn't show a bolt here, but I'm going to assume that this there's going to be a bolt up here that's going to replace the bolt that would have been down below. Unless it's not. Unless it just... No, it has to, right? It can't just loosely sit in there like that. It needs something to hold it up against the frame. But that means we're going to need a much longer M5 button head. And I don't think we have a much longer M5, but... Oh, no, we do. We do. We have two. This is probably an M525, so I can almost guarantee that this is it. And then... Are these... I'm going to assume that these are probably for... I think these are probably for heat inserts. These other slots. So let's do something here. Let's move you to the side. Also, I'm going to open the giveaway link for the Polymaker filament because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark here. 67 likes. If you have not smacked the like button, let's see if we can get to 100. Let's get to 100. Yeah, I'm sweating. It is warm up here. Okay, link is in chat. I'm going to pin it. We'll leave it for about half an hour, and then we'll do our drawing. So let's get our stealth press. I just got the gray cryo grip. What's the difference between the gray and the blue? There's a chart. So I have the gray as well. I didn't actually test it. I tested the two blue variants. Let's see if we go cryo grip. It's quite similar to, it's only compatible, I know, with PLA and PTG. And it is fairly similar to Frostbite, but not as strong of a hold. You go down to here, they have a spreadsheet. Here we go. So standard. It's most comparable to Frostbite. So the grip, they have like I think they just created their own. I like the little, there's a little tree for my icon. I think grip strength index is what they call it. So it's got a 9 for PLA or PLA carbon fiber, while Frostbite's a 10, and then Glacier that I'm using is an 8. So that's still going to be really strong adhesion. And then for PTG, it's also in between those two. So it's basically the same as Frostbite with slightly less adhesion. So it should still be really solid. The one thing to make sure of, though, is that you don't put any isopropyl alcohol in it. The only one compatible with isopropyl is the one that I'm using on the X1 Carbon. The other ones, you just want to use soap and water. So. I must have, yep, I unplugged the cable. Let's see. Oh. Boop. Dun, dun, dun. Boop. You can't actually see that, I don't think. No, I'm gonna focus on the heat insert, not the camera for a sec here, just so I don't go too far. Boop. All right. I think that's all we're gonna need for heat inserts. And then directionally, this shows that the power supply is mounted like, let's see, so front of the printer's there. Okay, so if this is the front, then we want the bracket on the right of the front. So it looks like this side. So we're gonna remove these bolts, these two here. So let's get probably this driver. We'll have to watch the rest later. Gotta go. Hey, no worries, TJ. Thanks for hanging out, and hey, have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year, buddy. We won't be streaming next week, but the plan is we'll be streaming on New Year's. Or at least a short stream. I can't miss in 2 weeks. I gotta see how everybody's holidays were. Okay, that is not coming out. Come out. Lovely. Lovely. Do we have a 3mm driver? Let's see if I can get it out with this one. There we go. Cool. Okay, so then this guy is gonna plop in right here, like that. And then we're gonna take our longer bolts that I just had found. What did I do with them? Seriously, what did I do with them? There was two longer bolts. How does, I don't understand how I do that so often. I think I even held them up to the camera. Here we go, right? No, yes, M525, I found them. I would miss you guys. We've been hanging out for, a lot of us, for like 3 years, right? I think that's right, 3 years. I don't like missing streams. By the way, what's the print volume on the Doron Velta? It's 200mm in diameter. Height, I think, is a bit less than that. But if you enclose it, it's less than that. Like, it's an awkward size, so I don't know that we're enclosing it. We might do it just for fun. But is that really gonna fit? That seems too... That seems like it's gonna bottom out. I'll try it. I must be doing this the wrong way. Yeah. Pretty sure I'm bottoming out and scratching the... It's okay, I guess. These feel like they're a little bit too long, but it's not that big of a deal. I think 140 or 160 when enclosed. Yeah, it's not a perfect circle when you enclose it. Zombie sent me the image of what it looks like, and it's definitely smaller. I mean, we might end up enclosing it and just saying screw it, but I wasn't planning on really using this thing for ABS anyway, so I don't know. Man of the Croc, thank you for the donation. And is it a coffee? I can't see if it looks kind of like a coffee. Thank you for the coffee. Oh, I don't know if I like that I just did that. Yeah, I'm gonna undo one of these. I trapped the thermistor wire through here, and I don't know that I want it running in this section. So, actually, yeah, no, I'm probably gonna have it go on top of this, like, Can we do it without snapping this part? Come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't want it to be constrained like that. There we go. All right, so that is in, and it wants the AC inlet of this to be on this side. So like this. Yeah. For these guys, I think M3, probably just use M3/8. Shouldn't really matter. M3/8s are the biggest bag of hardware. It's still not seeing it. M2.5s. I almost think that it's a skill to be able to lose things. There we go, they're literally right in front of my nose. Enclose it is something flexible so the head can push. Enclose it in something flexible so the head can push it out of the way. That would be really weird. Not saying it wouldn't be cool, but it'd be really weird to see a flexible, yeah, a flexible head like that. So I think we'll start by mounting the standoff. So these are going to go into the first slot. And I don't think we're using heat inserts. I imagine we're using an M3 screw that's going through this entire thing. So these are M316s. Let's see, M320. I don't know that they gave us a screw long enough for this. It's got to be a really long screw to get through this and the power supply. Definitely not an M320, so it's got to be like a M326 or M330. That might work. Giveaway link is open once again for anyone that's just showing up. Pinned in chat, so we'll be doing our giveaway here, and this will work in about 20 or so minutes. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. Okay. Oops. Oh. Okay. So one standoff is there. So I'm just right now just taking M330s. I'm basically going to install these into the channels and then align the power supply after. So we're just kind of preloading the screws right now. Just do the opposite of what Prisha are doing with the Core 1. Instead of making the side panel concave, make it convex. That's what FL Sun did for their V400 enclosure, I think, right? Let me check. They were supposed to send me one forever ago, but it never ended up happening, and I just never emailed. V400 enclosure. I'm pretty sure that's what they did. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. So it bolts on, and then it goes out the opposite direction. It's pretty freaking cool, actually. Definitely a lot harder to make than just cutting a panel, because I would assume you have to have a mold that you're either casting or a mold that you're sort of vacuum forming. That would be freaking sweet, actually. Like a DIY vacuum mold where you can make a panel for this with it. I imagine it wouldn't be easy and probably somewhat costly just to do for like a one-off thing, but that'd be pretty sweet. FL Sun's rep is basically an all-time low no. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll give you guys a quick update. Take two here before we mount the power supply. So I've always been a fan of FL Sun, partially because I love Delta printers, and partially because I always felt like they were pressing the bar when it came to advancing. Like, it was always, I felt like their specs and their builds were always quite impressive compared to what was out there, and they were just doing their thing. And I really liked the FL Sun Super Racer, and I really liked the FL Sun V400. They did some things with it that I didn't like the speeder pad with the not being able to log in to the firmware side of things anymore, which wasn't a thing when I first tested it out. But other than that, like, I was a big fan of the V400. I still think it's a fantastic machine. And then I was super excited for the FL Sun S1. Very, very excited. Specs sounded fantastic. It just seemed like the X1 Carbon, if you will, of the Delta space. And so it showed up, and we didn't unbox. Did we unbox that one on stream? No, we didn't, because I had to uncrate it basically with Aaron and figure out how to get it upstairs. So I did a bit of testing with it, just a little bit of testing initially. And the things I noticed right away was, like, this is the loudest printer I've ever used. It's literally like screaming at you. And they have it set to the loudest settings to, like, show off its, you know, speed and all that. You can dial it back and it's a little less loud, but, you know, there was that. Then the next thing I discovered was that the turbo or CPAP fan is pulling in air external from the printer, and that's what it's dumping inside. And that's a horrible idea. It's fine for PLA, it's fine for, like, PETG, but this printer, like, really was aimed towards kind of more of the, I would describe it like prosumer in a sense, where you'd be wanting to print out ABS really quickly, nylon, stuff like that. And dumping cooler air from the outside at the part is just an awful idea. I had warping, I had just weird stuff going on. So that was a huge, like, what the hell? You know, like, how did that get overlooked? And then the slicer, off the bat, they basically skinned, they like made some kind of weird skinned version of Orca, which I didn't love, but, you know, was kind of all right, you know. But there was, the biggest thing with the S1 was that there was artifacts, like ugly artifacts that I would describe as VFAs, pretty extreme VFAs. And so much so that I'm like, I wouldn't want to use this part on, like, a printer build. It's just, it doesn't look good. The extrusion's consistent, it was fast, but it doesn't look good. And the speculation was that it was probably related to the closed loop steppers that it's running. And so I reached out to them, expressing quite a few concerns also about the firmware side of things, and was, like, assured, you know, yeah, we're working on opening up the firmware, and our engineers are figuring out a way to basically correct the VFAs through, it seemed like, firmware, not requiring a hardware swap, but firmware. And I was very excited. I think I followed up a couple times, and they had showed me a photo of what the updated firmware progress was looking like, and it looked a lot better. There was still some slight VFAs, but it was solid. Like, to me, where I'm like, yeah, that's passable. I would, like, that looks good. And then I don't think I ever got another update from them. And during that time, I saw at least one instance of somebody's closed loop stepper boards actually catching fire or burning up. I mean, I didn't see a flame, but, like, they look burned, right? Like, they look really crispy. So I haven't used it since. Yeah, it sucks. And then there was the T1, which we unboxed, and I like the T1 a lot better than the S1, the original S1, a lot better. The price point, some of the decisions they made, it's not using closed loop steppers, so the parts look much cleaner because there was none of those VFAs. You still have the stupid turbo or CPAP coming from the outside, which is, like, probably my biggest complaint about that machine all around. But then they dumped out, like, the T1 Pro, and I just got an email from them a few days ago to test out, I think, the S1 Pro. I'm like, what about the S1? You know, what's the status? Are we just gonna ignore that? So I don't know. Like in my opinion, everyone that ordered an S1 should just get upgraded to the S1 Pro or some serious voucher off, you know, like basically getting it at cost or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. This last round, I want every company to be successful, and I'd love for FL Sun to be able to redeem themselves, but clearly this last round of printers was fairly ambitious, and they overpromised and underdelivered. Another thing was the flow rates they were claiming were insane, and we weren't getting anywhere near that. And they basically described it as it's the maximum flow that it can hit for like a short spurt or like a quick dump. And I'm like, nobody cares about that value. Like, that's not explained on your product page. Like, what people care about is what's the flow rate that it can actually print at in a real world use case. So yeah, I don't know, man. I want them to redeem themselves. I am willing to hear them out, but as of right now, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I've got the S1 sitting in the closet, the T1 sitting down there. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, you know, that's what's going on here. So, hey, Trom. That'll either be press formed or vacuum formed. I never understood the reskinned. Yeah, it's been explained to me by a couple of manufacturers, like they just want, like, apparently there are consumers that want this like ecosystem that's just all provided and really streamlined. And I can see someone that's not getting into, like someone not familiar with 3D printing, right? Getting a slicer that is a generic slicer and going in and being like, what are all these printers? It's really confusing. How do I find mine? Versus like, no, it just has your 4. So I don't hate reskin slicers, but I do think that a reskin slicer should always come with the profiles for a non-reskin slicer for all the rest of us that don't want that, with the same testing and tested profiles. I'm fine. Like, I'm fine with the reskin. If that's what they want to do for their business thing, that's cool. But that's not cool, but like, whatever. It's the replacement of where I'm like, this blows. Like, I don't want to use this. I feel like I've got handcuffs on, or like, you know, like I'm riding a bike with training wheels. Like I want to be able to use all the things I'm used to using. So to me, it shouldn't, well, if they're going to do one, then I prefer, sure, like just give us the profile. But if they're going to do the other, then I just want both. Like, give us both. So we, you know, let the people that are new to 3D printing that just want the super simple, you know, it's got same logos, only options for your printer, but let the rest of us have the freedom to do what we want, you know. So I thought the biggest problem was the flat out lies of volumetric flow that you need a Goliath with CHG to achieve was like a third of their size. Yeah, I mean, that was part of it. That was one of the original things, I suppose, but there's been a lot. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. It seemed pretty legit to me. I don't think it was fake. Like, it burned up. Were those ones with the, yeah, those were the ones with the crazy off the chart, like double at least of what you can achieve. I've also been going the creative route of fixing the problem in a new printer instead of the, I don't know, I hope not, but it sure seems weird to me, man. Like, you know, no real solution. I've been in the dark. Like, usually at least the manufacturer will, you know, if it's a content creator, they'll be like, hey, this is kind of what's going on. But I'm like, I haven't heard anything. It's been peeps. Granted, I haven't reached back out in a long time, because I'm like, I got other stuff going on. You guys got to figure out your problems, but Super Slicer's new version is going to make a lot of these gripes not a thing. It's a massive jump forward. I gotta check it out. I know that the dev is back working on it and doing stuff, but I just haven't had a chance. John is in the house. We'll let this guy in. How's it going, buddy? Happy almost New Year's and Merry almost Christmas. That's half the appeal of Bamboo though, right? Yeah. Yep. I blame Bamboo for the push to a whole JustWorks ecosystem. It's not a bad, the JustWorks ecosystem is really not a bad thing. It's not good if that's all that we have, but it's not a bad thing. For the technology to spread to like this type of people, like it just has to be more like that. It just, I don't want it to replace it completely, but having both, I have no issues with that. I just don't want this to become the only option. I don't blame them, they're actually doing it right. Crowley Slicer was just a reskin Cura and a major, yeah, I do not like the Crowley Slicer. I used it quite a bit with the K1 and K1 Plus. K1 Plus, that sounds right, yeah. I don't get who that consumer would be, as it would be the same for Persha, which is the same setup as Orca. I don't like Bamboo pushing P1S or XNC for beginners, maintenance, and those things. Yeah, maintenance blows on them. It's really bad. It's really bad. You shouldn't have to babysitting them for them to get any sort of proper updates done. You shouldn't have to be babysitting them for them. No reskin, just use Orca. Also, the printer is open and source. Good luck. Yeah. Okay, let's mount this thing. We need M3 nuts. M3 nuts. Okay, so I think the easiest way to do this is going to be if I tilt the top so that it's like this. Can we do that with the bed, or is the bed going to pull? Yeah, we can do that. You got to be careful. But yeah, I'm not a, like, there's not a 3D printing company out there that I'm like, yeah, I just don't like them, really. I want everyone to be successful, and I'm definitely, like, in the wheelhouse of giving people the benefit of the doubt because it's what I'd want. But I don't like a lot of what I see, that's for sure. There's things where it's just like, you know, this is not okay. Why are we doing this? Is this the same height? It feels like these standoffs are taller, but I'm probably tripping. Probably tripping. Okay. Why is my phone blowing up? Okay, let's grab power supply, and we said that it's going like this. Okay. It's kind of funky, but I mean, once it's in place, this will be fine, but getting it in place is a little funky. Come on, baby. All right. What? What? It's not long enough. It's not long enough. What the heck? It doesn't reach far enough. I have it in the closest slot. Is there another piece to this? I wonder if it's a CAD error. Because if you look at this, like, this is basically where it aligns up. Unless that was supposed to be drilled. Did I do a wrong extrusion?
Cheers.
No, there's no hole there. I think it's a CAD error. I heard cheers. I don't see anything. Oh, Jeff, thank you so much for the donation. Cheers, buddy. Let's do Cheers and Hadouken. Thank you so much. PSU shrinked. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Like the CAD has it exactly where it would be. Like it's right. Like, but I can't mount unless, no, like these have to be bolted on this side. It needs to be supported on both sides. It doesn't make any sense, man. So what's likely gonna happen is I'm gonna have to modify this bracket. This bracket, we're gonna have to basically extend it. Let's see, how much longer does it need to be? We're gonna have to reprint that part. That's odd. This is very odd. So we need approximately seven. I'd say 7.5 millimeters longer. It's quite a bit. There's a printed part for that side. You're saying there's another piece, an alternative piece? Is that what you're saying, Delmar? Let me check the repo. STLs, power supply. So I printed out whatever Fysetc had. Yeah, this is what I printed. So is there something different in the official? This is Fysetc. This is Fysetc. And this is not Fysetc. This is the regular one. So if I got STLs, electronics. Ah. That doesn't seem right, because the I printed out the bigger one. Yeah, so I printed out the one that's further away. Hey, Jake. Happy Wednesday, buddy. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna import these and just make sure they're the same. They don't, I know they look slightly different from each other. Okay, let's delete my break. Fill bed split. 2 objects. There we go. The distance looks identical to me on these. Let's see, rotate. Yeah, distance is the exact same. So I printed the right part. I don't understand. It's really weird to me. Like, how can these lean more? No. Those are perfectly vertical. And it just does not fit. And this is a UHP 200R which is the exact same power supply that it calls out. Check live stream. Oh. Oh. Okay then. So there's another piece that is gonna have heat inserts then. I don't think I probably printed that because I don't think that was in the repo when I printed out all the parts. It's not that. It's not that. Do you have the STL for that, Delmar? Yeah, I don't. It wasn't in at least the Fysetc repo, so I've got to print that out, and I've got to print out. I've got to print that out, and I've got to print out the block for the clicky. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, going based off the CAD, the CAD just has standoffs kind of floating. So in the repo, also
Getting on a plane now. Merry early.
Oh wait, no. So okay, this is the second. Okay, no, I've got the STL. This is the STL. These aren't two versions. This is basically the standoff version. Okay, so someone's getting on a plane. Getting on a plane now, Merry early. Hey, thank you so much for the donation, Jake, and have a wonderful Christmas. We won't be streaming next week, but we should be streaming the week after, and hopefully we'll have this thing dancing. That's definitely the goal. So, yeah, cheers, buddy. Have a safe flight. Enjoy your holidays, and hopefully we will see you soon, man. Oops, I don't need to redownload this, do I? Let's just download both of these. Screw it. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is the one. I actually don't know. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that we've already got, which should be fine, right? Looking at what we've got here. I mean, it looks like they slightly tweaked it. Maybe I should just print out the latest versions. And this one's taking heat inserts, so yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So I think what I'll do is I'll get these printing. Let's also print out the other thing we need, which is the do they have the clicky? Do they have the clicky block, or do you have to download that from actual clicky repository? Corner block fan, Z-Jars, full skirt, Sherpa, power supply, middle frame, extruder, dragon, printed part, lens carrier. I think it's just gonna be, no, this is clicky PCB. Okay, so we will go to clicky PCB, GitHub. Okay, so we need, I think it's probably that one, but don't need the mounts. Don't need the mounts. Do we need that? That's the dock. I don't think we use a dock on this, so I don't think we need a dock, period. So dock we shouldn't need. Probe we should need. There's an XL and there's a non-XL. I don't know which one we want. I'll probably just print both. I might just print all three of these. They're small enough. Is there a way to download an entire folder of things? Yeah, you can. I don't know how to do it other than this. Like if you go to, if you go here, oops. Actually, I lied. I only know how to do full repos. So like, if you're at the head of the repo, you can click code and then download zip file. But I don't know how to do it like if I'm inside, for example, like clicky. From here, I don't know how to do it. Okay. Do I have... I don't even have the ABS up here. I'm gonna have to print it after the stream. Okay. Well, we will... Oh, it's giveaway time. If you have not saved... if you're not entered into the giveaway, we have it pinned in chat. We're doing a spool of Polymaker filament in just a minute here. So it's your last opportunity to enter in. What we'll probably do is we'll get the extruder mounted, and then that'll basically be it. And I think I'll very likely wrap up power supply off stream. I'll very likely wrap up power supply off stream and do a little bit of additional stuff to get us positioned better for next week. But yeah, I've got to print out the power supply mount. But that wasn't, in my defense, it wasn't in the repo, at least not in Fysetc repo. So I did print out everything in that repo, assuming that that would be everything I needed, but that's kind of on me, I suppose. All right, yeah, final minute, and then I'll unpin it and give you one more minute, and then we will do the drawing. There are web pages you can use to download a folder. That's cool. Raw file save as. Ballistic, thanks for the gift of memberships, man. Cheers. Let's do air horn. And we'll do Hadouken. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Thank you to everybody for all the gifted memberships, and it's been an incredible year. It's been such a fun year. We've done, I mean, looking back, we've done really a lot of stuff this year. So I'm looking forward to 2025. We are gonna have Delilah. Can you stop licking? You're ruining it. Okay, just licking her paws. There'll be a lot of really cool builds. We'll have a garage build, it seems like, which is going to be cold and interesting, but a ton of fun. And yeah, I'm really excited to do a lot more of the same, you know. Maybe eventually I'll get that ceiling mounted camera installed that I've said I would do. I bought all the stuff for. I just need to crawl up there and get it all set up. So. Hey, Jason. Ideas on first project for 2025. So the ones that I know that are... Okay, so I don't want to give away things I can't give away. I'm working on something with Steve. I don't know when that'll happen, but I'm working on something with Steve. That's all I'll say on that. I confirmed earlier that LDO is going to provide a box turtle, so we will be building a box turtle. Fysetc is supposed to be providing a monster machine to build, which would be our garage build. So there's that. RH3D, who is in chat, I really want to build one of the Ender NGs. I've had people ask about it forever. I've talked to him back and forth about it forever. I just got to see his build manual, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's as well on the agenda. So there's quite a few things. There's a few others as well, but those are the kind of big hitters right now, which honestly, I want to rebuild the Mercury with the new frame. And so, I mean, that's already like, what is that, like 6 builds? And on our average build time of a month and a half to 2 months, that's a lot of 2025. So there'll be other stuff in there. Micron when? Yeah, I want the Micron freaking tool changer, Liz. A Micron Plus with like 3 tools would be absolutely stellar. So, any progress you said on your pet mouse? Yes. So since last week, I've caught 7 of them. RH, I've caught 7. 1 in the car, and 6 in the garage. We had like We'd caught 5. No, we'd caught 4. No, we caught 5. And then we had 2 days with nothing. And I thought we were good. And then we caught 6. And then we had another 2 days. And then this morning, Aaron said, we've got another one. So we've caught 7. And I had people come out and basically check out the house yesterday. And they showed me a ridiculous amount of entry points. And there's a bunch of mouse activity that's been happening in our crawl space. So I've got a bunch of like stainless steel mesh stuff I've got to install all over. It's mouse. That was a big hunt. Yes, I was expecting just like maybe 1 or 2 that had gotten from outside, but no, we have had this morning or last night I went to bed and told Aaron, I was like, we've caught half a dozen mice. And then this morning I'm like, we're over half a dozen mice. So it's a mouse party here. Yeah, it's just, it was kind of funny. All right, last thing. Okay, anyone that's sign up for the giveaway, do the giveaway. It's in chat, and we're doing the drawing. Last thing that's kind of funny is I was cleaning out the car the other day, basically just shop vacuuming everything to get rid of anything that they had left behind, and then using antiseptic spray and scrubbing like console and stuff like that as much as I could. One of the things I found underneath the driver's seat that was completely eaten and licked dry was a pizza packet of Parmesan cheese. And it just made me giggle because I thought to myself, like, you know, mice and cheese, and like, what a jackpot for that mouse, right? To like go into this car and tear open this packet, and it's just littered with cheese, like just untouched powdered cheese. So it made me giggle. I went inside and was like, we literally gave them like the best thing, like, you know, the joke with mice and cheese, like we gave them like the thing that they want. So yeah, so you gotta be careful delivering pizza back and forth from the pizzeria. The packets of cheese need to not end up under the seat because yeah, pizza cheese on the, I mean, they didn't leave any cheese in the car, man. I've never seen a packet of cheese that dry. Like them like completely devoured every last crumb and licked the foil inline clean. So yeah, there, okay, I take it back. There were some cheese for that. Yeah, I thought it was pretty freaking funny. I mean, I try to find the humor every time something happens in life, and I'm like, that's not ideal. I try to laugh about it because it's like, what are you gonna do? You can get pissed? Great. What is that gonna do? Like, now you're just upset. So I try to laugh about things, and that one just got me. I'm like, we literally left these mice a packet of cheese. Like, we couldn't have done a worse job as people trying to avoid having mice come into their house. So yeah, living their best little mouse life. Just picture them just, you know, just munching down on that cheese. Anyways, all right, I'm removing the link. Let's do this giveaway. Ridiculous. Oh gosh. Let's remove, unpin. Yeah, anyone filling it out, you got 30 seconds, and then we're doing the drawing. They definitely hit the jackpot. Yeah. Yep. He went down so happy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're using the PG term for party. Yeah. Mice like Doritos, by the way. We're not real big on Doritos. Every once in a while, the nacho cheese, spicy nacho, I guess we'll have, but we do a lot of baked chips here. I like salt and vinegar, and there's a jalapeno lime one that's delicious. And then lately, Aaron had like a craving for hot Cheetos, and like I used to have hot Cheetos a lot when I was 13, 14, and so I had a couple of them, and now I've been craving hot Cheetos. So we got a bag, and like every couple of days I'll go down there and just take a few hot Cheetos. I'm like, this is real good. Okay, all right, let's do the giveaway. We have got 111 entries. Nice. Oh, I don't want to show anybody's email, so let me show me. I'm glad I caught that. Download. Where's the download button? Where is the download button? View in Sheets, no. Download, there we go. Okay, Google Drive. Freaking Parmesan cheese, man. It couldn't have been the packet of red peppers that we dropped under this seat. It had to be the Parmesan cheese. All right, so file, upload, replace. You definitely hit the, yeah. You're almost out of storage. Dude, I've got 8 gigs left. Here we go. All right, 111 people, perfect. How many likes do we have? Did we hit 100 likes? 95 likes. We're so close to 100. If you haven't hit like, let's hit like. There we go. Alrighty then. We are here. It is the final wheel of 2024 on this channel. I'd like to thank everybody for participating in all of our giveaways that we've had, and I'd like to especially give a massive thank you to Polymaker for another year of allowing us to do these weekly giveaways of a spool of filament. I know everybody really appreciates it. It's a super cool, a super awesome thing that they do. And yeah, I hope they allow us to keep doing it. I haven't heard anything about 2025, so I'm hoping that means that, you know, there's no issues with continuing, but I'm, you know, regardless, I'm grateful for how many spools, I mean, hundreds of spools at this point they've let us give away. So massive thank you to them, and thank you to everybody here for another year of support, hanging out, chatting, all the comments and members, gifted members, donations, everything. Like, it's been, and just using the link. There's been people using the Polymaker link, and it does really help, even if it's a single spool. Like, it does help. So cheers to everybody. And yeah, let's do our last giveaway of the year. How many times are we going? Oh, you know what? We're just shuffling 7 times, man. We've caught 7 mice. This is for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Everybody ready? Last one. Can we get some readies in the chat? I feel like chat hasn't moved in a while. Did chat freeze? Did chat freeze? Nope. It froze. Holy crap, it froze. Oh my god. Sorry everyone that I missed their comments. Liz looks like you commented. It didn't send the last probably 100 of them. I apologize. I was like, dude, everyone just got really quiet. That's not normal. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sorry anyone I ignored. I didn't purposely ignore you. I just thought nobody was talking for the last few minutes here. Noel, which feels very appropriate for the holiday season. You are our winner. I think you're a first-time winner. Let me see. There's me. Let's do some... Wait, where's sound effects at? Standard sound effects. Do some cheers. Congratulations, Noel. You are our last winner of the year. I have no idea where you're located, but I will send you an email in the next 24 hours with a form, and depending on where you're at, you'll either get a gift card or get to choose between one of a lot of different spools of filament. So congratulations. Thank you everybody for entering. And once again, massive thank you to Polymaker for letting us do this. But yeah, it's been an incredible year. I'm just thankful to be able to show up every Wednesday and talk mice, talk food, build things. So yeah, thank you to everybody. I think the last thing we'll really do is let's get the extruder mounted onto the side here. And then I'm going to remove the print from the P1S in the garage and fire up the ABS print for this part. But yeah, I'll get the power supply mounted before next week. I'll get the SSR mounted before next week. And I'll probably do some wiring. I will very likely do some wiring and kind of do a bit of showing. I don't know that I'll fully complete wiring because I don't want to commit to that right now. But whatever I do, I'll go over for sure. But just so that way, like, I want on the next stream, like, I want to be printing. I really want to be printing. So I'm gonna do a few things offline to kind of help that stuff. So I posted a feed of your crawl space in live streams on Discord. I don't want to open it. I've been getting so many mice jokes, man. Like, I was in a work meeting Monday and I had to go downstairs for a moment. And so I turned off my mic, let my team know, like, hey, I'm sorry, I've got to really quickly go downstairs. And I heard my boss say, like, I wish we could all send Daniel virtual mice right now. And so I've been getting I've been getting mouse punked pretty hard, both real mice and other mice. So yeah, I'm super happy that we got to meet this year, Liz. It was awesome. Twice, yeah, at Rocky Mountain and at 3D Printopia. So it was definitely super cool to be able to meet you in person. So thank you for being awesome and hanging out and supporting and the channel and everything. I think it means when your Doron Velta is done, your first print needs to be a mouse. I'm not against that. If someone finds a cute mouse model, that has been the theme of this stream, at least for the last 2 weeks here. And I'm sure I'll have updates in 2 weeks time. So yeah, if someone finds an adorable mouse model, we'll print it in honor of their infestation. So, Mousetrap is first print. No. It is kind of funny that the traps I'm using that have worked the most effectively are ABS traps. They're made out of ABS, the full traps, it says on them. And I'm like, huh, I like ABS even more so now. So, need a Squirrelbot Mousetrap as first print. Yeah. Could have been worse. They could have used mouse face filters. Oh my God. Yeah. I made it through another year, loser. 2025 is your year, Deanna. I feel it. I've got a good feeling about 2025. All right, let's see if we can get this extruder mounted. Let's see. It looks like it's going... Well, it's mounted in the air. It's mounted in the air on here, but I think there was a pretty big bracket I printed for the extruder. I'm almost positive. So we've got a filament path that needs to get mounted. Actually, is it dumb to mount? Maybe it's not smart to mount the extruder right now. If we're gonna have to flip this thing over on its side and tilt it, it's probably... I'm pretty sure this is what it said to print out for the for the extruder. Let's see. I might need a photo of what the extruder looks like mounted on this. Yeah, it's my fault. it's my fault, Liz, I know. Images and config. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this... I think this is the big piece that had me print for it. But maybe this is for the Bowden tube. It kind of looks like this is going to mount on the top. I don't really know. Will Obico detect the mouse? I don't think so. Let's see if I go to the official... No shots of the there's no shots of the extruder being mounted. Extrude the head. Lens, effector plate, drag and mount. Sherpa. Yeah, this is the massive part it has you print. So let's grab it. Where's the Sherpa? Here it is. If it's like Beetlejuice, you said mouse too many times, the mouse has gone into our trap under the sink. No way. No way. You guys have to stop watching the stream. Apparently, I am manifesting mice. Okay, so I think that this works like this. Like, I'm pretty sure we're doing heat inserts into here, and then it looks like this is going to bolt onto that. And then Bowden tube is going through there. This must be for one of those fittings. But I think what I'm not understanding offhand right now is where the heck do I mount this? Like, where does this actually end up going? Oh, is it like that? That doesn't seem to fit right. That kind of seems like this kind of seems like it's how, okay, let me see. I'm surprised you didn't 3D print a mousetrap. Dude, I don't want to, something like that, I needed it done yesterday. I didn't want to deal with potentially like a faulty trap. I needed it tried and true. So I think it's probably gonna go like this. Yeah, this seems like it makes sense to me. I don't know if this is the right corner for it, but then this would be mounted like this, and you would feed it through one of those probably push fittings, and then it goes down here. That seems like it makes the most sense. I think I'm just gonna do this extruder part off stream. I kind of just feel like hanging for a few and then taking a break. I'm getting hungry too. Stomach's starting to growl a little bit. But yeah, we'll chill for another couple minutes here. I got to hear the famous Modbot laugh in person. Personal victory for me. Hey Kevin. I didn't know what I didn't know what you were talking about when you first said it, but I'm like, I think I get it now. I kind of have a lot of laughs. Like when, I think I mentioned it before, but when I was living with my buddy, and it was me, him, and his wife and his 2 kids. His oldest is my godson, and we would be up late playing video games. He would be down the hall. He had like a built-in cabinet with his desk, and I'd be in one of the guest room where I was renting, and we'd be talking to each other in Discord, and always just the stupidest like jokes and laughter. But I knew that like the kids are sleeping in the next room and his wife was sleeping, and so we developed like almost like a snake laugh, where it was like a like that, and it was like when we were hysterically laughing but trying to stay quiet, and it was like a snake laugh. And I remember his wife texting us at like the middle of the night, just saying it sounds like a bunch of snakes, like sounds like a bunch of laughing snakes in this house. And that was before we'd called it the snake laugh, and it made us snake laugh even harder. But yeah, the group mouse print is the best. Did you ever get these? I didn't get those Costco nuggets. I didn't. Did you post them, Dom? Weren't you supposed to post them? I thought you were gonna post them.
I found a dead mouse at work the other day. But then I changed the batteries and then it was fine. Buy a Sovalsov 08 or build a rat rig.
You found a mouse the other day to change the batteries and it was fine. SV8 or rat rig? It totally depends. I'm gonna say, like, based off of my experience, the rat rig is going to be a better machine and a higher performance machine. It's also gonna cost you more. So it's also going to take a lot longer to build. It really just depends. Like if you are going for just highest performance out of the two and budget's not really a concern, then I would go rat rig. If you're not wanting to spend that much money and you don't really care about like the IDEX capability upgrade of the vCore 4, I don't think the SG08's a bad machine. Like I think it's a solid foundation, and there's paths to upgrade. Like I'm going to do a video on upgrading the hot end to a micro Swiss in the next 3 weeks. I think it's going live in roughly 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks. There's like the base machine I liked quite a bit. The upgrades that they made I thought were like really thrown together and just not thought through. So it depends. Yeah, if you want something that you can sort of do a little bit of tinkering with and do some upgrading with, then they can both be upgraded. Honestly, a lot of it comes down to budget. Like, I think budget's a huge factor in that. Performance-wise, I'm going to say rat rig is going to be a better machine for sure. But it's also going to cost more. So to me, it's a budget thing. Yeah, they're pricey. Oh, you did in the live stream channel? I didn't see it. Mother calls that her snagglepuss laugh. I like that. I like that a lot. I didn't see it. I'm sorry, Dom. I didn't see the chicken nuggies. No, I didn't get them yet. Erin did try. You know what? Erin said she got some different nuggies this time, but she said they were like sticks. So I don't think it was the ones you were describing. But if you post them when we run out of these sticks, I'll definitely give them a try.
I really like my Rattling V-Core 4 hybrid motor. Going to be installing the IDEX upgrade soon. Yeah, I cut the panel for the V-Core 4, and I just need to install the magnets. I've got the magnets like right here. I bought the magnets for the enclosure for the front panel, so I just need to put the printed parts back on it and then upgrade the tool head. But it's been one thing after another. So, which I'm grateful for, being busy and having all these things, but it's only so many hours in a day, and I try to get as much done as I can. And it's like every day I go to bed, I'm like, I didn't get anything done. You know, the list just never shrinks. So yeah, nuggies sound good. I'm pretty freaking hungry. I'm definitely gonna go. I'm probably just gonna throw like a frozen burrito in the microwave for 2 minutes and call it a lunch. Hey Trevor, we're gonna, I don't know if you've been hanging out or not, but we're gonna call the stream here. We've been going for like 3 hours, and I've got to print. The main bottleneck for really us not having the bottom electronics on is there's a STL file I didn't print out that wasn't in Fysetc repository, but is in the official repository. So I need to print that out, and then I can mount the power supply. I'll get the SSR mounted, and yeah, I'll just start running some wires. I'll take some time between now and next week's stream, and not a ton of time, but enough time to like kind of button some things up to get us in a little bit better of a position, and try to catch if there's anything that I'm like, okay, that's missing, or there's that thing. So I should at least, I'll do a really good, I'll do a good recon for what we'll need for next week to make sure that we're moving this printer during the stream. So too many projects, none finished. Yeah, it's kind of story of my life. But some projects do get finished, but there's a lot of like really good intentions, you know, really, like you start off on something, you're real excited, you're real, you know, and then you kind of hit a wall, and then the excitement kind of peters out a little bit, and sometimes the projects just kind of get put to the side, and then I do return to them, other times not so much. The other thing we also need to do is I'm probably going to do a stream, one more on Milo, where I'm supposed to do a stream with Mandic Really as the final stream, so hopefully we still do that. But I got all the replacement stuff in for Milo. I need to swap out the board. It's been sitting here for like months now because of travel and other projects. But we need to remove the board that's in Milo, put a new board in, and the new tool setter, and we need to go through the startup checks again. And I'd like to cut a piece of wood on stream, or at least engrave a piece of wood. So. You love Aaron more than us. We'll just go hide in the caves till New Year. You're gonna be busy, man, with your kids and stuff. The Prusa Mendel build when? Yeah, that's not on the agenda. Not on the agenda. Next week's stream is not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Aaron. The plan is, so my family celebrates Christmas growing up my whole life on Christmas Eve, which I think is because my mom's from Sweden and that's how they do it over there. So we're gonna do that. My parents are going to come over. I'm going to be cooking all day. And I imagine it'll be a decently late night. And then in the morning, we'll kind of take it easy and maybe do some sort of like nice breakfast at the house for Christmas Day. So yeah, I think I'm just going to chill on next Wednesday and enjoy the day. But New Year's Day is the following Wednesday, I guess someone pointed out, which is our anniversary. But we're going to be celebrating our anniversary on a different day. So I don't foresee there being an issue with doing a regular stream that day since we're not doing anything specific that day. So I'm going to confirm that before I get myself in trouble, but that's what I'm thinking right now. So I'll let everybody know when I know. Did I say next week? Oh, yes, I meant 2 weeks, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm going to call on that. Thank you so much, Armor. Happy holidays to you too, man. I hope you and your family have a really nice and relaxing Christmas and New Year's, and I will definitely be keeping an eye out for your upcoming build, man. So, yeah, happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. I feel like there's probably other holidays going on that are happy whatever you're celebrating or not celebrating, and I hope everybody has a very safe New Year's. And for anyone that is going to be around, hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And the game plan is we start the new year off with getting this bad boy printing. So once again, I
don't like sounding like a broken record and saying the same thing over and over again because you're like, I get it, but thank you to everybody. It really has been a wonderful, thank you for the 15 months TPs. It's been a wonderful year. The channel's grown a lot. It's just, there's been a lot of fun times, a lot of great builds. I've learned a lot. Hopefully we've all learned a lot. And I'm looking forward to continuing and doing more of the same and just cooler stuff and hopefully making the channel better if I can figure out ways to, you know, small tweaks that make it more improved. But yeah, have a safe holidays, everyone. And I will see you in 2025. Cheers. Bye, everyone.